You ever get those ridiculous social media scams where people pretend to be somebody you're friends with and tell you you can make a lot of money? I know I do. It's why I'm very excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is an easy to use app that essentially packages a bunch of services to stay safe online all in one. Aura protects you from scammers and hackers. They scan the web for all sorts of data leaks and alert you as soon as they find anything. Aura is like the offensive line for a quarterback, consistently offering you protection from suspicious and malicious activity. They have a VPN built in that keeps your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. They'll even alert you if someone's trying to open up a credit card or a loan in your name. Did I mention they protect all your devices from viruses, malware, spyware, and any other things so the bad guys can't break in? Aura can even manage what your kids do on their devices. You can set limits and restrict them from specific apps. They have a password manager as well, so you don't have to rely on an outdated Rolodex or that sticky note that's been on your desk forever. There are apps that do all of these things, but there isn't one that tackles everything the way Aura does, which is why I say Aura is a 5-man offensive line and you're the quarterback. So head on over to aura.com/JKB. You can find it in the description and start your free trial today. What's up, guys? Full disclosure, I don't have any plan for the show tonight. I just really wanted to see y'all. Yeah, I just wanted to go live and just answer questions and just have some fun talking with the community. I mean, I feel like, I'm getting so bad with these titles, and the thumbnail is just, I don't know, just like I like in the the area of being fully transparent, I didn't have much of a plan coming into this show. The Lakers are finally above 500. Cam and I dropped a brand new Believe in Rams podcast episode, which I believe is one of our best. I know I keep saying that, but I feel like they just keep getting better. And I've honestly I've never felt more comfortable than right now, with the podcast. So just the way, the Believe in Rams podcast is going right now, and just the way Believe is going, just been, a big fan of the direction they've been going in. And, it's really cool to see. I love seeing growth, I want everyone to eat at the end of the day. By the way, big shout out to Zach Meyer. If you don't know who he is, he's a Rams fan. He does the East Coast Rams podcast. I believe I said that right. With my buddy Ashton. So you should definitely check them out, subscribe, follow them. So Zach today did something that no one could do. If you guys don't know, 9 months ago, Alexis and I lost our downtown Rams. I know I was bringing that down to like it was going to sound like we lost like a loved one or something. I know it was supposed to, it sounded like it was going to be way more impactful. But we lost our account. Nothing too drastic like that. I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. Like, yeah, we lost a dear friend. Our Instagram account with about 10,000 followers. As you guys know, if you've been following for a while, we lost it. I tried to get it back and we couldn't. We tried Instagram. Instagram didn't really help us. And so here comes selfless Ramley member Zach, who did not need to do this, went out of his way, to get our account back through a contact he had with Facebook or Instagram or what have you. So our Downtown Rams account is back. It's no longer hacked. If you want to go and follow that on Instagram, we have control of that again, which is just such a blessing. So big shout out to the East Coast Rams pod, Zach Meyer, and Ashton. First off, Ashton's a great dude. Like, I've known Ashton for a minute now. I'm a big fan of his. I'm a big fan of him as a person, and I've been on their show before. But Zach doing that just man, people can really be freaking awesome when you least expect it. And I mean, let's be honest. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I've had a little bit of a rough week. I didn't get the job that I was really looking forward to and hoping and really thinking I was going to get. And that stung. And, kind of makes you, look in the mirror a little bit and be like, hey, what am I doing wrong? Is it me? What's happening? Because it's been this way for a while. Just it was nice to see something like that just work out, because not everything is going to go in your favor. But, I'm fortunate to have you guys, fortunate to have this live stream, this platform, fortunate enough to have two great co-hosts for my podcast, Alexis and Cam, that I really, I trust and I feel like I'm better when I'm around. So yeah, just, man, I didn't have any plan for this, and all of a sudden I'm getting all emotional. But no, like for real though, this kind of what's going on. I don't know what the future holds in regards to where my next job will be, but as of right now, I'm just going to continue to grind and do what I do. I've worked over 11,000 hours in the last 2 years. Probably not normal, probably not healthy, but I don't intend to stop, and we'll see what happens. So appreciate everyone who's been supportive, and I'm sorry if I'm boring you. I will begin talking about other things, but I don't know. When you put me in front of a camera, I get like transparent and honest, and let you know what's going on. So if you're not interested in that, totally understand. We move on. Let's all right, so let's go back to the beginning here. What's up, Doc? How we doing? I did. Kareem, how we doing? What's up, my guys? Fun fact, I'm in a pretty awesome fantasy baseball league with those two. Really enjoying it, and I'm trying to get into baseball more this year than I've ever been in. I want to do content, and I don't know what that looks like. Maybe there's a show in the future, a baseball show. That'd be cool. But I'm really trying to get into it on a level that I haven't been since I was a lot younger. Since I've gotten older and busier, it's been the NFL. I follow the entire NFL. I follow some of the NBA. And baseball, I really just follow the Yankees, and I know who's good, who's not good, all of that. But I watched a pretty decent amount of baseball that first day, opening day, yesterday. Of course, I guess now it's today. But watching the youth, watching the future of the league, watching guys like Volpe, watching guys like Outman. I know a lot of you are very excited about Outman, and you have every right to be. His first game at Dodger Stadium, he hits a home run. Definitely a guy I'm looking out for. Corbin Carroll on Arizona, Jordan Walker on St. Louis. There's some really good young talent, and that's what really excites me, I think, the most. But then, if you guys haven't been paying attention or watch it all, they've sped up the game. And, I think the biggest complaint baseball gets from people is, man, I want to get into it, but it is so slow. It is the slowest sport, takes forever. And I hear you. I mean, there's no reason why, just because the Red Sox are playing the Yankees, there's no reason why that game should be 5.5 hours. But if you look in the past, in history, it has been. So why is that? I don't know. But, they've added the pitch clock, and you have people with different opinions, and I respect them. But I got to tell you, the pitch clock was the right move. 100%. Pitch clock, right move. I'm all for it. I love it. I like how quick these games are going. And again, it's not like I want the game sped up to the point where I'm like bored. It's that it's getting rid of all the unnecessary, the things that drag the game along. Because now you're on a time clock. Now you got to pitch, Like I don't need to see all of these B-roll, this B-roll footage of like a pitcher doing this with his, it's like I don't need that. Like, I want to watch the game, and I like it. I know there's people that don't. The Yankee game I watched yesterday against the Giants, 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Crazy. I think they fixed it. And I'll get to more. Kareem, I saw your comment before I went back up, so I'm going to highlight another one of your comments. I've never done that before, so double highlight there. And I can't even see it because this stupid thing is in the way. So, Jake, I know you're a proponent of robo-umps. Did you see the one call from the Cardinals game yesterday? Yes. Was that? I think the exact one you're talking about is Brendan Donovan. It's like 5 feet outside, and the guy called it a strike. Robo-umps, I'm all for. Okay, I think that's the one thing this sport is really missing is they need the robotic umpires. The umpires, the way they are right now, not going to cut it. I mean, first off, no one knows, like, I may be biased, but just watch Aaron Judge at the dish, okay? No one knows. No umpire knows how to call balls and strikes against Aaron Judge. He's got the most unfair strike zone. He's the easiest player to pitch to because you can basically throw it wherever and it's going to be a strike. Now, he might crush it. He might crush it into the stands like he did against Logan Webb, but, okay, he's got the most ridiculous strike zone I've ever seen. I mean, like, you can throw it anywhere and it's a strike on Judge, and I don't think that's fair. Just because he's 6'8" and he weighs as much as Aaron Donald doesn't mean his strike zone should be here to all the way down to the floor. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I think robo-umps is 100% a necessity. I think we're going to be getting that soon, probably within the next couple of years, and it will make the game even better. And I think at that point, I think baseball can get back to where it was. I think it can start competing with the NBA again. Nothing is going to take down the NFL. I mean, maybe soccer. I think soccer has a shot, over time, but I'm not saying it's going to anytime soon. And you guys know I'm unbiased because I guess I would be biased against soccer because I don't really like soccer. And I mean, I have a video on the channel saying that soccer will never take over. It won't take over the NFL by 2026 or whatever the FIFA committee guy said, but maybe someday it will. I don't know. I can't read the future, but I can tell you right now, baseball's never taking over the NFL. Like, that's not happening. But what it can do is it could try to compete with college football, and it could try to compete with the NBA. And I think it was there, and now it's fallen off. So yeah. Let's see. Anything about OBJ and the Rams? I know he met with Les Snead, or he hung out with him a little bit at the owners meeting. But as of right now, Les Snead basically said, "Look, we've talked numbers. We've given Odell an idea of, and his camp an idea of like what it would cost. But now it's the ball's in his court, right? He's got to make a decision, and I think that's, yeah. I mean, that's about as simple as that is, 7th seed, yeah. For the first time all year, I believe they're above 500. I don't think the Lakers have been above 500. It felt like they were cursed. Like they would get to 500 and they would lose every time they were trying to get above 500. All right. They go long snapper first pick, another slow man special, or fullback Sam Rogers. They go long snapper for, they're not picking a long snapper the first pick. That's not happening. Do you think Cam Akers is going to continue where he left off last season, or be a big So I think Cam Akers is going to be pretty solid next year. I'm expecting a really good year for him. I don't think he's going to, revert back to how he was at the beginning of last year. And I don't necessarily think what he did at the end of the year it's not like it's not obtainable, but I think the more realistic thing is probably 1,000-yard season, which now with 17 games isn't that hard to come by. But yeah, I think 1,000 yards is definitely a fair prediction, I think, for Cam Akers, projection, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I was one of their first guests on their podcast. You know, congrats to all their success, how they've blown up and everything. I believe they live in LA now, so you know, good for them. You know, I like everybody, you know, being able to eat. You know, it's one of those things, man. You got to be able to root for others, and you know, they've done a nice job building a community. I can definitely appreciate that. I know what that's like. Probably be injured before the season starts, like always. I hope they trade him for picks. Who are you talking about? Cam Akers? I don't know, man. I don't know if that's fair. You know, I think Cam deserves a little bit more respect. I thought he played very well at the end of the year. And you guys know I'm one of the biggest truthers, is what the kids call it, I guess, today. With you know, I was one of the biggest truthers when it came to Cam Akers. Okay, you know, I was the one that came out. I made that video about Darrell Henderson, why he's better than Cam Akers. But I was the first one to give him his props. And, you know, I'm not going to say he proved me wrong, because I knew he was capable of doing that. But at the moment, my complaint was that he wasn't running with that confidence. The vision wasn't there. So I think, you know, I'll admit that I was wrong to a degree, but it wasn't like you know. What's up, Camper? How we doing? Where do you think Jalen Carter will land? In Seattle. Yep. I think he goes to Seattle. I think they have the 5th or 6th pick. He'll go to Seattle. The 5th pick, because the 6th pick, of course, is Detroit. OBJ Rams. We'll see. I right now I'd lean Jets, but I think the Rams are the team that he's considering as well. Based on what I've heard, I mean, they're definitely in it. Hey, Jake, unfortunately, I'm a Bulls fan, but I would really appreciate your opinion on where they're at right now, where you think they're going, and what you think they should do. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, Tenacious Scorgan. Appreciate you being on the show tonight, you know, and I appreciate your comments. So I'm going to look up the Bulls right now, because right now, I mean, I want to be able to see, you know, because I don't believe they're doing well, but I don't want to be like, yeah, they're killing it, and then just be wrong. I know they won tonight. They won by like 30 tonight. But just kind of looking at the Bulls, they're 37-40. You know, looking at the standings, I mean, they're in the play-in, but I would imagine they're not really going to go very far. It's not a great Bulls team right now. They're definitely hurting. To be just brutally honest with you, they're hurting. They got Patrick Beverley, who's starting for them right now. You know, Dosunmu from Illinois, Io Dosunmu. I actually really like him. I think he's a good, you know, piece moving forward. Kobe White hasn't quite worked out where you drafted him. Caruso is fun, but I don't know if Caruso's been worth the money, to be honest with you. You know, Lonzo Ball, I don't even know what's going to happen with him. I'm very concerned about him. Zach LaVine, I'd probably move on from. I'd probably trade, if I'm being honest. Patrick Williams is a guy who plays great defense. You know, he's a hustle guy. You know, I like him as a piece long term. DeMar DeRozan, you know, obviously he's a star, but at some point or another, you know, with him and Vus, I got to tell you, I think the Bulls might want to start blowing it up, because 37-40 is not worth holding on to 3, you know, max contracts, so to speak. So I think the Bulls are going to have to blow it up, if I'm being brutally honest. I think they're going to have to find their guy to build around. And, you know, DeMar DeRozan isn't exactly young. I mean, he's 33. So, you know, Vucevic is in his 30s. He's 32. And then LaVine is 28. I don't think LaVine is a player that I would want to be my franchise guy. I think he's a number 2. So if I'm the Bulls, I'm trying to get that number 1 guy that I could, you know, kind of build around. You know, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if that's, you know, pushing for Luka. I would stay away from Kyrie, but I think the Bulls need a number 1 guy, you know, in his prime to, you know, build around. And I don't know who that's going to be, but right now I'd be trying to, like, I'd be looking. Moving forward, I'm trading LaVine, I'm trading Vucevic, and I'm trading DeRozan, and I'm blowing the team up, and I'm trying to figure it out, because right now the Bulls are in this purgatory, you know, setting where it's like, you know, you may not be a bad team, but you're not a great team, and you're spending all this money on a team that should be really good, right? I don't think you're getting the value for the money. I don't think this team is worth the money that is being spent. So, An outsider looking in on the Bulls, I think they should blow it up because, I think as time has gone on, I've been more about, at least in my opinion, if you're an NBA team and you're just constantly just missing or whatever, like you should be trying to win a championship. And if your goal isn't championship, then you have the wrong goal. And looking at the Bulls, I just don't feel like they're going to win a championship anytime soon if they don't make a drastic change. Lonzo didn't work out in all likelihood, and that's really unfortunate. You got to bounce back now, Maybe you keep DeMar DeRozan, but I think the best thing would be is to just blow it up and do what the Rockets are doing. Because the Rockets are bad now. It's short-term pain for long-term game. Look at what the Rockets have. That's actually a team I would model a rebuild off. Because when you look at the Rockets, they're very intriguing long-term. Right now, it's not great. They're one of the worst teams in the league. But if you look at the young talent on the roster, Jabari Smith, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Alperen Sengun. I don't even know how to say his name. Sengun. And then you have Tari Eason. You have Jayshawn Tate. You have Ty Washington, Josh Christopher. This is a team where they got all these young guys. When they fully develop, because they all are really young, when they fully develop, this team is going to be a problem because they're going to be able to add more to that team. They're going to be picking high again. So there's another guy that they're going to add. And if you look, let's see, NBA mock draft, just take the best one on Google, right? If you look, Houston's expected to get Scoot Henderson. If they win the lottery, now they have Victor Wembanyama. And then if they do that, now they have Sengun and Wembanyama. They have, Jabari Smith. They have Kenyon Martin Jr. They have Jalen Green. They have Kevin Porter Jr. And that's all of a sudden, now you're talking about a lethal looking team for the next, and this is how you create a team like that. Plus you're in the NBA. So you have a soft cap and a hard cap, which I always talk about when it comes to the NFL. The NFL doesn't have that, so it's not as easy to keep the same guys. The NBA, it's easier to keep the same guys. So I really like the way they're looking. Mr. Moves right here talking about NBA rebuilds. The Thunder look super good in their process. Exactly. The Thunder look good right now. They're going to compete and potentially, we'll see what happens in the playoffs, but they should make it. And the thing about the Thunder is they have that number one guy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a number one guy. He is a number one. He is a star. So you can, he can be your face of the franchise, which is a great look for them. And then you have all those picks. So you got all this talent. Jalen Williams looks like an absolute stud. And I might be a little bit out of turn here, but I kind of believe that Jalen Williams might actually be the true rookie of the year. I understand that Paolo Banchero is going to win in all likelihood, but Jalen Williams, I think, has made the biggest impact, and you've seen that on the Thunder. He has been huge for them. Josh Giddey, he's been huge for them. But having guys like that and then having SGA on top of that and being that guy, yeah, I agree with you. I think if you are trying to rebuild an NBA team, look at the Thunder, look at the Houston Rockets. They're doing it the right way. They're doing it through the draft, literally through the draft. And that is how you do it. And I think, you say you're a Suns fan, and I don't care if you're bandwagon or not, but yeah, you say you're not a bandwagon, which, that's cool. Glad, happy for you. But with the Suns, I had an issue with them trading away Bridges. I felt like that trade was stupid, and I don't think they're going to win a title this year. I stand by it. Kevin Durant he's not consistently healthy. I can't trust him to stay healthy. He's a great player, but you lost one of the best two-way guys, young up-and-coming stars in this game in Mikal Bridges, and I don't know why. I don't know why you made that trade. I think the trade was stupid, and I think it's going to come back to haunt the Suns. I mean, every team needs a glue guy. Austin Reeves has been the Lakers' glue guy, right? You need a glue guy. You need your X factor, whatever. The Suns had that. When you move Mikal Bridges, you change some things up. I think that'll be the death of them. I really don't think they're going to win a title this year, and I think it's because of that trade. I thought it was. I understand you're trying to strike while the iron's hot, but just stick to your process, man. Your process got you to where you were, and like I said, Mikal Bridges is a star. Like he's exactly what you want in a young player, two-way guy. It's hard to find two-way guys like Mikal Bridges. They don't grow on trees, as you can see. So, I did too, because Mikal Bridges on the Nets is looking like he's becoming a star. The Nets would have taken Cam Johnson, those picks, and Jay Crowder. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if they would have done that, but also, trading away Cam Johnson too. I just wasn't a fan of the trade, but getting rid of Mikal Bridges, it goes back to what I've always said when you guys ask me about Rams trades, right? And when we used to talk about it, and people would be like, well, if the Rams traded for this guy, then they would want, Aaron Donald. And what I always say is, if a team is asking for Aaron Donald, they're missing the point of why I'm doing this trade. I'm all in. I'm trying to add on to what I currently have on the roster. Okay. I'm not trying to trade my core piece. That doesn't make sense. You have to come to the table with some logic. It's like going to a business meeting and, with everybody speaking professionally, you're speaking in slang terms. You're speaking like you're with your friends. You're not even speaking the same rhythm, the language as me, as these people. Like, we're talking about business. Get this crap out of here. Because that's the thing. I never understood that. I never understood that. It's when, like the Aaron Rodgers thing. Okay. I see tell me, you're so disconnected if you think the Jets trying to trade for Aaron Rodgers, they're going to trade away Garrett Wilson. The Packers aren't even asking for that. That is ludicrous. That would never happen. I feel like sometimes people miss the point of what trades are. I am giving you assets for the future so I can win now. I'm trying to add on to my current core group of guys. I'm not trying to take away from. And that was my big issue with the Suns trade. Because when they got Mikal Bridges, the Nets did, that was great for them. That's a future piece. But he's a current piece, and he's a big reason why you are in the spot you're in. Not having that two-way guy come NBA playoffs, you will regret it. Period. It's that simple. So, to your point, I think it was a mistake, and I think it's going to cost him dearly. And, it may not cost him now, but you will see. You will 100% see. This will come back to bite the Suns in the ass, and I honestly won't mind it, because I'm all for developing the players like the Rockets, like the Thunder are doing right now. Develop your guys and add guys in free agents. I don't like just trading stars or trading for stars left and right. The Lakers, it was a little different. You're talking about Anthony Davis, and you felt like he was truly the next piece. And sure enough, you can say what you will about the trade, but it worked out because everybody is able to thrive where they are right now. Brandon Ingram has given everything he can to that Pelicans team. And, in return, the Lakers won a title. And they might win a second. So I'm going to get into that in a second here. But let's catch up on these. Hell yeah, Jake is live. Definitely needed this today. Appreciate you, Isaac. You'll be all right. It's all in God's timing. Appreciate you. That's what I've heard. We'll see what ends up happening. I don't know if Allen Robinson will be back. I thought he wasn't going to be back, and now I'm not sure. I don't think he will. I'm gonna stay by that, but who knows? We'll see what ends up happening. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions about Carter, where he will land. Some say 6, some say, yeah. See, I think he'll land in Seattle. I think it's a good fit for him. Dodgers winning it all. I have them making the playoffs, and I don't know who I have them losing to, but I don't think they're going to win it all this year. Let's see. OBJ to Rams, potentially. We'll see what ends up happening. Would be off your draft board. Yeah, I've heard that, actually. I've heard he's off some teams' draft boards. What's up, Alex? Now, if they could just get rid of baseball, we'll be golden. LLJK. I don't care much for baseball, but I know that was a much needed addition for the game. How long until the Astros figure out how to cheat? Yeah, the Astros, for the first time in 10 years, dropped their first game of the season on opening day. Think about that. They've won 10 straight opening days. That's insane. I think they won with Bo Porter, if I'm not mistaken. So that was before they were even good. That was the first year they moved to the AL. Little did we know how bad that was going to be as a Yankee fan. They're saying OBJ to the Jets. Yeah, I think that probably will happen, but we'll see. I could also see that too. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I've seen this movie before. Teams say, oh, he's off our board, and then one of those teams that said it, they draft him. Smoke screen central this time of year. Keep in mind, not everybody's going to tell you what they're doing. And honestly, no one's going to tell you what they're doing. Let's see. Jake, who can you see being moved on draft night for maybe some more draft capital? I could see the Rams adding some cheap vets after the draft, like a Brockers, Lawan, Kareem Hunt, Wentz, Galladay, etc. Well, I'll expand this to the NFL because I've gone on record, in case you guys didn't know. I've gone on record. I think there's going to be 2 NFL trades, like big NFL trades. They're not connected to the Rams. I'll get to the Rams piece in a sec, but you just reminded me. I have Jonah Williams being traded on draft night, and I also believe that DeAndre Hopkins is going to get traded on draft night. That's what I think. I think both guys get drafted or get traded on draft night. We'll see what ends up happening. In regards to the Rams, I think Wentz makes the most sense. Wentz, maybe Brockers for the right price, Troy Hill, John Johnson, guys like that. I definitely, to me, Wentz makes so much sense because the amount of flexibility you give yourself if you draft Wentz may not be your favorite quarterback, but Wentz is a damn good option for a backup. He's had experience playing in the league. To me, that, he's starting in big games. He's played big games. I think you need that experience because then you don't feel pigeonholed into drafting a more NFL ready quarterback in the draft. I think you could just draft whoever you want. And so I think with that, you look at a guy like Jaron Hall, you draft him third, then maybe you get DiNucci from the XFL and have everybody battle it out. And if Wentz loses in camp, then you cut him or you trade him, and then DiNucci is your backup. But or if Jaron Hall's that far ahead, then he's your backup. But that's how I see it. I feel like it just gives you way too much flexibility not to do it. If Wentz is cheap, and again, if Wentz is asking for $8 million, doesn't make any sense. But $2 million for Carson Wentz, yeah, I'm taking that. And I think McVay can get something out of Carson Wentz. So I will say sign me up all day. Anybody who says they don't want Carson Wentz, but then says they don't want Perkins or Wolford, I mean, who do you want then? Because Caleb Williams ain't walking through that door. It's not happening. I really don't think it's happening next year, but it's definitely not happening this year. So we have to face reality that the options are dwindling. We talked about Mike White. He got paid $8 million. I didn't expect that, right? Baker Mayfield got paid $4 to go to, Tampa. I mean, I just at the end of the day, you got to face the music here. There's not a lot of options left, and he might be the best one. Let's see. What's up, Darren? How we doing? I still don't get OBJ to the Jets. Feel like they have other needs and have a solid wide receiver core that they... Yeah, so apparently OBJ would signify the end of Corey Davis and Denzel Mims. If they get OBJ, then they have him, they have Garrett Wilson, they have Mecole Hardman, and they have Alan Lazard. That's a good 4 wide receiver group. To me, Mecole Hardman, that's just telling me that he's going to be in the same type of role he was in Kansas City, maybe just used a little bit more. So I don't think it's anything that's out of, his stretch, right? And with OBJ, it's he wants to play with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he wanted to play with Aaron Rodgers, but knew the Rams were the better team. So he signed with the Rams, and they won the Super Bowl. But I mean, if Odell chooses the Jets, then I totally get it. You think you can see, I mean, this, you can see this team is on the cusp of something great because Joe Douglas has built this team the right way. And now if they get Aaron Rodgers, then they become a win now team. And, but I mean, if they don't get him and they get Lamar Jackson, the one that makes no sense at all is the Ravens. When I hear the Ravens, I laugh. The Ravens, that doesn't even make sense. Lamar Jackson isn't going to quarterback the Ravens based on what, everything we're hearing. So why would OBJ sign there? We don't even know who the quarterback's going to be. Are they planning on making a big trade to get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young? Because I hate to break it to you, those are the only two quarterbacks that can start day one in this draft, period. So if they're not doing that and Lamar Jackson's not coming back, then your choice is Tyler Huntley or somebody like Teddy Bridgewater, or Carson Wentz. Maybe Carson Wentz is the plan. I don't know. But the point is that it doesn't make any sense for him to sign there. And Baker turned down signing there. Like, he didn't even want to go play in Baltimore. So I don't know, man. But I can't see OBJ going there. I can't. I saw it. I think Kancey's really good, but I think he's getting overrated because he's a Pittsburgh defensive lineman that has the same size as AD. And I don't know. They have way more pressing needs than interior defensive line, in my opinion. So I don't think Kancey's going to fall either. I think Kancey goes in the top 25, I'd probably say, of the draft. He's gone day one. It's happening. No. You've already won too many games to go full tank. If you win 3 games, you're not getting Caleb Williams. But also, you shouldn't get Caleb Williams. Why, Caleb Williams doesn't make any sense. The Rams are absolutely tied to Matthew Stafford for the next 2 years. His guaranteed money is insane. So getting out of that deal is going to be really hard. But also, I mean, what if Matthew Stafford comes back and he balls out? They're bad, right? Maybe they're not great, whatever. But he's still a great. So are you? What do you want to do there? I don't know. I don't think Caleb Williams is logical. I don't think, not logical, but I don't think he's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. I think people are getting their hopes up for something that's just not gonna happen. I don't think Caleb Williams is going there. Caleb Williams is gonna go he's gonna go to a team like Cleveland or something. They have Deshaun Watson, but you get my point. He'll go to Arizona. That's probably where he's going. He's probably going to go to Arizona, and that'll be typical because it seems like every big player ends up in the NFC West. Jake, you got to watch the DB from Georgia, Kelee Ringo. I don't know if he will be there in the second, but I really like what I see from him as a potential replacement for Ramsey. Yeah, I got to get into the DBs. Right now I'm finishing up Edge. That should be done within the next couple days, and we'll have the video breaking down the tier groups. I'll also have it's not downloadable, but for the draft, I'm going to have a Rams board created. So you have an idea of where everything is, in regards to, the draft. If you want to see a Rams board based on who's most likely to be there when the Rams pick, that'll be that. But I think the Lakers run has been impressive. The problem is they don't have enough depth. So as soon as the starters go out, our play drops dramatically. I don't know. I think they definitely have more depth than they've had all year right now. And, I got to tell you, I wouldn't be surprised the Lakers won the title. I really would not. The Lakers are playing really good basketball. They got guys that can coexist. They can play together. They can perform together. They have, 3-point shooting. They have defense. I mean, LeBron is a closer. He can take over the game. Anthony Davis can take over the game. Even D'Angelo Russell is capable of it. Austin Reeves apparently is capable of it now that we've learned. You got hustle guys and, Vanderbilt and, Gabriel. I look at this team and I'm like, man, it's pretty crazy. This team is really shaping out to be I mean, this isn't all LeBron, obviously. But if LeBron wins the title this year with the team that he had and what they had to go through, I mean, is there any doubt really that he's the greatest? If he wins 2 titles in LA, like, is there any? Then he won 2 titles in LA. He won 1 in Cleveland, and he won 3 in Miami. Like, is there really any doubt at that point in this day and age? I mean, like, going in the same era as Embiid and Jokic and Giannis and Tatum. I mean, I don't know, man. KD and Booker on the same team. This would be an all-timer for me. This would be the most impressive championship I've seen in I mean, I gotta say that the Pistons title against the Lakers years ago was really impressive because I don't think people felt like they were going to do that. When Miami lost that first year, the Mavericks, that was really impressive. Even the Lakers bubble team I thought was impressive. Everyone calls it the Mickey Mouse title, but it's still a title. And if anything, it just went against the Lakers. They would have had a home court advantage. They didn't get home court advantage. They played in a bubble. So I don't know how that goes against the Lakers. It's just stupid talk. But yeah, I think they really have a shot this year. I'm a Laker fan, so full disclosure, whatever I'm saying right now, you could also call bias, I guess, to a degree. But I don't know, man. I don't know. To your point, they've been impressive. This run has been impressive. I think they're learning more and more about each other. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm really not. Not going to rule it out because we've seen stranger things before, and they have so much talent on this roster. I don't know. I think looking at the standings, so the Lakers right now are the 7th seed. They're 1.5 games away from Golden State and the Clippers. So 5 and 6 seeds there. They're 3 games out of the 4th place. Theoretically, if the Lakers can get out of the play-in, if they can take one over on Golden State, LA, the Clippers or the Suns, and get into the 5 or 6 seed, whatever, I think they're in really good shape. I think they match up well against the Kings, in my opinion. So the 3 and the 6, 6 and 3 would go against each other. 4 and 5 would go against the 2. I get messed up. So the 1 and the 7, or whatever the winner of that is, would play Denver. And then the 2 would play, the second lowest seed. So the Lakers get into that, then it's the 3 and the 6. So they would play, the Kings, who are pretty much guaranteed to be either the 2nd or the 3rd. I don't think there's a team that the Lakers can't beat in a series. That's the crazy thing. We're talking about a team that just got to 500 for the first time this year. And I'm looking at this like I don't really feel like there's a team where I'm like, oh man, if the Lakers play them, it's over. Because I think there's that much. There's that much this year where you're like, I like, who's gonna win it? Who's gonna win it all? I mean, I kind of felt the whole year that it was going to be and I mean, not the whole year because I lost faith with how bad the Lakers were looking, but there was just something that was telling me it was going to be Lakers Celtics again. And I don't know, there's something about that matchup, obviously the historic storyline and everything. And if it happens, I'm sure NBA Twitter will say it's rigged. But I honestly think we're about to see another chapter in the Lakers Celtics. I think it's going to be Lakers Celtics in the NBA Finals. You heard it here first. Lakers Celtics rematch. I think it's going to be that. I think the Celtics are the best team in the East. I think the Lakers are right now playing extremely hot basketball, in a nutshell, in the West. The only one that I would say is hotter right now, probably, I don't know, Phoenix has won 4 straight. Memphis has won 8 of the last 2, or 8 of the last 10. Yeah, I don't really know. But man, that win tonight was huge going up against the Timberwolves. They don't have the tiebreaker, for the record. So they got to keep winning. Because the Timberwolves have the tiebreaker on the Lakers. They've won more head-to-head games. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see. Donald said he would like if Cansey became a Ram. Would definitely be able to learn a lot from 99 before he's gone. Talking about NBA. Okay, I saw that. Lifetime Lakers fan. I'm more excited about Reeves, Vanderbilt, and D'Lo's future as core than having LeBron AD. I think that's normal because how much longer are you going to have LeBron? And there's just something different about having young guys that are counted out, you know? So, I don't know. Interesting. I did too because Mikhail and this. Okay, I saw that. I feel like these comments are out of order. What's up, Dax? Yeah, it's been pretty crazy, honestly. The Lakers have looked really good, you know, and I like I said, I think it's gonna be Lakers Celtics. I know some people might disagree on that. They might call me a homer. Fine. You don't see a Lakers jersey around here. You don't see Lakers. I don't know what else you could hang that would be Lakers memorabilia, but it's because I haven't gotten around to getting one. I have a Lakers jersey. I just don't feel like pinning it in the back. It's a Westbrook one, so that's probably not the one that I would pin. Well, I don't know. I still, I love Westbrook. You know, he's one of my favorite players. I'm happy for him. I think it was one of those rare instances where it worked out for both parties. I think Westbrook is in a better fit with the Clippers, and I think when you look at D'Angelo Russell, I think he's bought in, and the Lakers have bought into him, and I think he'll be back. I think he'll be a guy that they want to build around, and he gets another shot, and I think it's a storybook type of move for his career. We saw it with Dwight Howard. He got a chance to win a ring. You know? Not everybody gets second chances, but I'm not going to lie. The second chance was pretty sweet for Dwight Howard, and it's pretty sweet right now for D'Angelo Russell. I don't think D'Angelo Russell's tearing it up by any stretch, but he doesn't have to. I think that's really the big thing here is that he doesn't have to do that. Doesn't have to tear up anything because you got LeBron James who averages, he was averaging almost 30 a game. He's now averaging what? Yeah, 29.2 points per game. And it's going to drop significantly. He's taking a little bit of a back seat, letting Anthony Davis take over. Anthony Davis scores 38, it seems like, every night. So when you're getting that, Russell will just take 10 assists, 12 points. He'll take his double-double. He'll shoot 12 times. He'll let the other guys do the work. And it works. It's a good fit. So I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, I've been wrong before, but Lakers Celtics, you heard it here first for the title. What's up, Jack? How we doing? Who should be the Bulls franchise player if they blow it up? Somebody that's not currently on the team. I don't think anybody is like you would think Levine, but I don't think Levine's the number one guy. I would definitely blow it up if I'm the Bulls. Without a doubt. I'm going to look at the 2023 NBA free agency. So, looking at free agency right now, you got Russell Westbrook's a free agent. James Harden, but Philly has his bird rights, and it's a player option. I think James Harden will be back. And he's 33. It's like, so you need a guy who's like still in his prime, guy that could really take over and be the face of the Bulls. And I mean, honestly, like if D'Angelo Russell wanted to do that, I think that's a good fit. But the problem is, I think he wants to win a ring. Christian Wood, I mean, I don't think he's a one, but he could be an interesting guy. There's really not a lot. Yeah. And oh, by the way, the Mavs have Christian Wood's birds rights. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's really not a lot. Damn. So I mean, who would be a good player? Like, they'd have to probably make a trade. I mean, I'm looking in free agency. There's not really any number ones. D'Angelo Russell is the only one that I would be like, I don't know. So this free agent top players available this summer ranking on Hoops Hype has Harden number 1. That doesn't make any sense to sign him. So then you look at Kyrie, and I'm like, Kyrie in Chicago, I don't know. Fred VanVleet, he's a player option. I mean, he's such a great point guard. But is he a 1, though? Like, to me, I look at Fred VanVleet as like a really good 2. But I don't think he's a number 1 guy. Middleton. Yeah, the problem is this doesn't seem like a free agency class where you're going to find a number 1 guy. I think the only one who's got that dog in him, I mean, Russell Westbrook could be the number 1 guy, but like he's not young. That's the problem. You want a young number 1 guy. So to answer your question, I think it's going to have to come via, a trade, because I don't know who you would go after if you are if you're the Bulls, trying to, where do they pick right now? Are they projected to have a good pick in the draft? I mean, this mock draft has the Bulls taking, do they not have a pick? They have to blow it up. The Bulls have to blow it up. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Guys, I don't even think the Bulls have a pick in the first round. They don't. The Magic have their pick for Nikola Vucevic. That's awful. That is the 9th pick. So that would be in the lottery, and they'd have not a great shot, but they would have a shot at Wembanyama. Well, let me check. Is that protected? I love how the first thing is the Bulls. If you put in "is the Bulls" in Google, the first thing that came up is the Bulls 2023 pick protected? So clearly a lot of Bulls fans are freaking out because they're like, oh, I hope so. Top 4. Wait, hold on. This feels off. So this is awful. So if the Blazers, okay, they'll get this pick then. Oh. So the pick is lottery protected. So the Bulls are supposed to get the Blazers pick, and only if the Blazers make the playoffs, and the Blazers aren't going to make the playoffs. So the Bulls literally will not have a first round pick based on what I'm reading here. That's awful. What about the Vucevic? So the Vucevic one, the Bulls receive Vucevic and Al-Farouq Aminu. Magic receive Wendell Carter, Otto Porter, a first rounder in 2021, which became Franz Wagner, and 2023, it's top 4 protected. So if you're a Bulls fan, you are rooting to get in that top 3. Because if the lottery, so basically, if the Magic, they have the pick if it's outside of the top 4, which is kind of weird. Top 4 protected. Normally you see like top 5. But anyway, the point is the Bulls are not getting a first round pick this year unless the ping pong balls fall in their favor. And if they do and they get in the top 3, the Bulls select. If I'm the NBA, I might want to rig this thing. And I mean, there's always questions about the draft lottery, but man, it is not. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Bulls if they don't get a first round pick this year. Yeah, that's true. But they're, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, really, you if you're a Bulls fan, do you really want to even play in the playoffs this year? I mean, you're not going to get in the lottery. Like, that's the problem I have. But the Bulls are 3 games ahead of the Wizards, so it's like they're going to probably get in the play-in round or whatever. I still think the rule is that they would still be in the draft lottery even if they get the play-in. So if that happens, whatever. But that's interesting. I mean, it makes sense. But if we're going by what the head coach of the Panthers would want, I'd be shocked if they didn't pick Stroud. It just seems like somebody Reich would pick. He wants the pocket passer, right? So BJ Ojulari is not what I expected. I thought he was going to be this ultra athletic, somewhat raw pass rusher. That's not the case. He's not ultra athletic, but he's extremely technical. He's probably one of the more crafty pass rushers, and he's only 20 years old. So the guy's young. He's got a lot in his toolbox. And I just came away with he's got great hand usage. He's got, good bend. I'd say he's got really good bend, to be fair to him. But he's not like ultra athletic. He makes things happen because he doesn't waste steps. There's not a lot of false steps to his game. He makes every step count. That, to me, that's a guy that, could be a really good pass rusher at the next level. I mean, it's not always about being ultra athletic. I mean, some of these guys aren't athletic and they just make it work, So, yeah, he's definitely a name to watch out for. And, I mean, he could be in play for the Rams. I don't think he might go in the first round, but it would be early in the first round if he does. So I think he's definitely in play for the Rams. He should be on their board. If they should expect him to be on the board, when they pick at 36. D-Book, CP3, Dayton, Katie, and Mikal Bridges would have been legendary. Oh, Ayton. Okay, I got what you're saying. Would have been legendary in backups. Josh Okogie, I can see past couple games he has been pretty good. He had a double-double. Yeah, I think it was a mistake. Mookie just walked and is the tying run in the 9th. Wentz under McVay would be interesting. It would. Doesn't make sense to draft a quarterback this year if they plan on drafting one next year. Wouldn't want to be in a similar situation similar to the Niners and have a chance to bet. I disagree. If you draft Jaren Hall in the 5th round, like, you can draft a quarterback next year. You absolutely can. Quarterbacks are currency in this league. Like, in my opinion, I would draft a quarterback every single year. Just like I'd take a receiver. I mean, why not? You're getting a 4-year deal with these guys on a cheap contract. If somebody wants Matt Corral, now all of a sudden the Panthers can trade him and get a pick. Quarterbacks are currency. If you can develop these guys, you can get something for them. No chance. I do not see it. It won't be on draft night. It won't. I don't know if it'll happen until like after the draft, if I'm being honest. I think it would have to happen before the draft, but I don't know. If I'm the Jets, I'm a little pissed off because it's like, let's be honest here. The contract for Aaron Rodgers is ridiculous. We're trying what we can. We're telling you, hey, okay, we'll pay X amount. We'll take on his deal. We're not giving you a first round pick, so stop asking, right? Then, it's like a second rounder. It's like, I don't know, even a second rounder seems a lot for that contract. But he's Aaron Rodgers. He's a 2-time MVP. Yeah, he's coming off his worst season, arguably, of his career. He could also retire after this season. Like, he said he was 90% retiring when he went into that dark retreat. So, yeah, sorry, if I'm Joe Douglas, I'm not exactly just bending over backwards to try to get Aaron Rodgers. I'd be honest. I'd be like, look, if you don't want to give us Aaron Rodgers, we'll go out and get Lamar Jackson. And then Aaron Rodgers will be pissed off at you. He will retire, and you will get nothing. That's what I would do. I'd be like, all right, you want to strong arm me? Aaron Rodgers went on a show and said he wants to come here. He intends to come here. You have to make this work. If you're going to try to, nickel and dime us when we're paying all this money for Rodgers, yeah, I just walk away from the negotiation table. I'm like, all right, Lamar, we'll pay you. I don't know, man. I think that's what the Jets should do. I mean, for real. I mean, think about it. If the Packers are going to draw this thing out, they're going to hurt your off season. I mean, the Jets are essentially like, they can't really do anything. But if they've already come up with the idea, we're fine taking on Aaron Rodgers' deal, pay Lamar. If they want to strong arm you, pay Lamar. And I would make it personal too. I'd be like, man, he wants to come here. You're stopping him from coming here. You made his deal ridiculous. We're trying to work with you. If you're not going to work with us, all right, we'll go and get Lamar Jackson. Good luck, telling Aaron Rodgers this news. Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I don't care. I understand NFL's a brotherhood. I understand these owners are friends with each other for the most part. I understand these GMs are friends with each other. The coaches, it's a fraternity, whatever. I don't care. Okay, at the end of the day, if it burns a bridge with the Packers, then guess what? I'll trade with one of the other 30 teams in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about it. Oh, I pissed off Gutenkist or whatever. I don't care. I'll go and trade with the Patriots in our division. That's happened before. I'll go and trade with the Rams. I'll go and trade with the Lions. I'll go and trade with Dallas. I don't care. It's one team. I mean, I honestly do not care. That's what I would be like if I'm the Jets. I'd be like, this is ridiculous. Like, you have to say goodbye. Send Rodgers over here. This is getting out of hand. We have all the leverage. Rodgers went on a public platform and told the world that's where he wants to be. So stop. You're not getting a first rounder. You're not getting a first rounder next year. You're getting a second rounder, and that you're going to like it. You want Corey Davis? Fine. We'll throw Corey Davis in. More the merrier. But, I mean, sorry. This can't just keep happening. You got to eventually move away from the table, though, because if I keep hearing it's getting worse. Well, if it's getting worse, then I would imagine Joe Douglas, who's very, very intelligent. He's probably one of the best GMs in football. If I'm being quite honest with you, what he has done with the Jets, he's one of the best GMs in football. If this isn't done in the next couple weeks, watch them pivot to Lamar Jackson. I was thinking Stafford, but I am of the belief I think they're going to keep Stafford now. Something feels off. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm of the belief they're going to keep Stafford now. The Rams are. But I think the Jets are going to go after Lamar Jackson. I think it changes the dynamic. The fact that he's available, I think it changes the dynamic, and I think OBJ commits to the Jets the moment they do that. But I mean, I don't know. I think there is risk with Lamar Jackson. I think that's real. There's tangible risk. I have him in Dynasty, okay? In my fantasy league, the guy is unbelievable. When he's healthy, Lamar Jackson is a cheat code. Like, he'll get me 40 points a week. But if he misses 5 games, ironically enough, I have Rodgers and Lamar on my team. That's my team right now. So I'll be fine either way. But I don't know. It's just like, if he gets hurt, who are you going to? Zach Wilson? The same thing as Rodgers, though. I mean, it's not that Rodgers is likely to get hurt. I think Lamar Jackson, who runs as much as he does, is more likely to get hurt. He's had a hard time staying healthy, notably. But I don't know, man. This is one to monitor. I keep saying it, guys. Keep an eye on this, because there's something that's going to happen, and it's either going to be anticlimactic, and you'll have Aaron Rodgers wearing Jets gear before you know it, doing the presser, saying how much he's excited to be here and bring a championship to MetLife. But at the same time, we could, in the land of the NFL, we could see Lamar Jackson go there and completely flip the NFL on its head. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. I mean, think about how close the Panthers were to acquiring Matthew Stafford. The 49ers want Stafford. The 49ers were in on, Deshaun Watson. All those teams were in on Deshaun Watson, Stafford, and the Rams came out and got him. No one, Christian McCaffrey and the Niners, people didn't see that. Like, I don't know. I don't think we know what's going on, and I think that's the beauty of this league. Also, if I'm Detroit, do I take calls on Goff? They have the 6th pick, and his deal doesn't look bad either right now. I think you keep Jared Goff, unless it's tough, because I don't love their backup situation. I'll say this: if they were to be able to get Lamar Jackson, and trading Jared Goff to the Ravens would knock off a first-round pick, and you'd only have to give up 1 first-round pick, I'd do that. I would do that. But I don't think Goff is... I think you can win with Jared Goff. In the situation he's in, the offense he's in, the weapons he has, I think you can win with him. This is not the same Jared Goff at the end of his Rams tenure that felt shell-shocked, that felt like he had fallen off a cliff. This is a repaired Jared Goff. Now, is Jared Goff a great quarterback? I wouldn't say so. I think he's a very solid quarterback who's got his limitations. I think when you watch the tape, he still doesn't dominate teams. His arm is good. I think it's a little overrated. I think the year he came out, like, would I say that Jared Goff as a prospect was better than, CJ Stroud or Bryce Young? I don't even know if I would say that. I didn't think he was a great prospect. I thought he went first overall because it was a weaker quarterback draft. You had him, and you had Carson Wentz, and you had Dak Prescott, but we didn't really think Dak was going to be better than either of them. So I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, because I don't think Detroit's wrong for that. You could say just stick to who brought you there, and I think that they love what he is and who he is. But if you have a chance to get Lamar Jackson and you believe in his ability, former MVP, and you think, hey, as great as we were at the end of last year, we did lose a lot of games early on, and we weren't in the playoffs. Might have been the 3rd best team in the conference, maybe the hottest team at the end of the year, but we didn't make the playoffs. So I don't know. I think right now, I don't know if they do that. But again, you're always having these internal discussions as an organization when a guy like Lamar Jackson comes available. Like, when a guy like Aaron Rodgers comes available, when OBJ was available, Von Miller, guys like that, you always have to have that internal discussion. Like, hey, should we make the plunge? Should we do this move? Do we need to do this move? The way we're going, does that trajectory lead to success, or do we have to make this happen? And I think that's the thing that they're going to kind of figure out on their own. And we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't rule out the Lions trading for Lamar. I don't know who's going to get him, but I wouldn't rule that out. I think they're going to trade. They're probably going to package 2 of their fifths to get a fourth. I would imagine that could potentially be their quarterback of the future. Not necessarily of the future, but could be their quarterback selection, their 4th round. Seems like a good time to draft a quarterback, 4th or 5th. I mean, if Will McDonald, the 4th, is there, Will McDonald has to be the pick, in my opinion. You know? I think so, anyway. Wow, that would be something. How do you think they get T. Higgins? I'm very curious, because I kind of have a weird feeling T. Higgins is going to get traded, but I do not know. I do not know. I think the Rams can win 10 games, depending on how things go this year. Before you laugh, they have a 3rd place schedule. They still have core pieces. They still have an offense that can score points. If they stay healthy, they can win 10 games. If they're not healthy, if Stafford has injury problems, then you're opening yourself up to another 4, 5, 6 win season. I expect the Rams to make the playoffs. Like, I said it on the Believe in Rams podcast. I was like, look, I can have an issue with the Rams right now. I can say I don't agree with what they're doing, but I'm not betting against Sean McVay, and neither should you. I mean, at the end of the day, Sean McVay took a 4-12 team, added a little to that team, and then all of a sudden, that team's 11-5 overnight and hosting their first playoff game since 2004 at the Coliseum. I mean, guys, don't bet against Sean McVay. Don't do it. I'm not saying they'll win the Super Bowl, but I am saying they definitely should be in the playoffs. They would have been in the playoffs in 2019. They didn't make the playoffs because it was a 6-team format. It's the last year, go figure. And it was the last year of the 6, and the year before the 17 format. So they were the 7th seed, but there was no 7th seed then. So you think about it, Sean McVay's only missed the playoffs realistically once. And last year it was just a doomed year, right? So we'll see what ends up happening. Absolutely not. If you trade up for anybody, it better be an edge or like it's a quarterback that you just feel like if Richardson falls all the way down the board for whatever reason, the Rams are like, man, this is our number 1 guy. This is the guy number 1 on our board. We think this guy can be a superstar, the next Patrick Mahomes. Then yeah, trade up, right? You make that trade. But you don't just trade for anybody. Like I think it needs to be an impact player. I think it needs to be like Kancey to me isn't a need. I would rather have a pass rusher, like an edge, and Kancey would be an interior guy. So, yeah, that'll be fun to have a 1st round pick. I agree with you. I want OBJ back as well. I don't know. I kind of see Buffalo doing it, if I'm being honest. Here's why. I'm not just saying it. If Buffalo does it, then you can justify, like, a big thing is that, the guys have talked and come out and, stated their opinions and stuff, about, like, Josh Allen running and why they want him to stop running and stay healthy. And they're right. I mean, there's no reason why Josh Allen should run as much as he does. He's putting himself in serious danger. And think about how many, defensive guys are getting pissed off every time he runs. Whether it's fair or not, that's kind of the name of the game, is to hit guys, right? So if I give you a little extra shove, it's the name of the game, right? I mean, I could, if I'm a defensive guy, maybe I put my helmet into your knee. There's nothing against that. It's dirty, but I'm not getting flagged for it. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of, I could see them going after Bijan. Now, here's my thing. I don't think you have to draft a running back in the first round. The reason a team could draft Bijan in the first round is because Bijan Robinson he's a running back. You know, you're only going to have, I mean, how old is Robinson? He's older, right? If I'm not mistaken. Bijan Robinson is, no, he's 21. Okay. You get a 5-year thing with him. You get a 5th-year option. That could be a bargain. So, yeah, if I'm drafting a running back at a position that, you know, dies off at age 30, I mean, I get him for 5 years. And if I want to franchise tag him again, I can. Or if I want to franchise tag him, period, I can. I can franchise tag him twice. I don't know, man. I think I certainly wouldn't rule out Dallas taking him. I think they got to let Tony Pollard be the guy, but I mean, I certainly wouldn't rule it out. But yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to draft a running back in the first round, it makes sense because of the 5th-year option. Yeah, so Robinson graded higher for me, but I like Gibbs more. Gibbs has more of a fun style, and the guy is so explosive. I mean, his burst is so much better, and that's not everything, but it is a lot of things. It's like when my grandpa said, "Money isn't everything, but it's a lot of things." And it is, right? But no, for real, you know, burst is not everything, but it is a lot of things. Because, you know, having that burst, maybe you don't have great vision. Well, having that burst of speed in the first 5 yards of your run, maybe you can get away with it, you know? My thing is Gibbs is so crafty, and he's so explosive that I just think that, you know, whoever gets him is going to get an absolute stud. I'm looking forward to the day I'm able to say I'm done with the draft as far as all of the prospects I've scouted. Here's my Rams mock draft after all sorts of, you know, tape watching. I'm hoping that'll be relatively soon. I have a lot of work to do. I'm looking forward to getting the edge over with probably tomorrow. Right now, if you're looking for one, there's literally a question answering what I was going to say. If you're looking for one guy that I want, it's Will McDonald IV. Every day, tomorrow, yesterday, twice on Sunday. I am so sold on this guy. He's my number 2 edge defender in the class, only behind Will Anderson, because there's not going to be many players better than Will Anderson, regardless of position. And I just feel like when you look at what Will McDonald does, you know, he could he's a first round talent through and through. Like he should go top 15. But what he's able to do, considering the fact that he was put in such horrible positioning. I mean, he was playing 5 tech and he just was playing out of position. And I just feel like when, you know, you look at him and he's lining up in the trenches, it's like, dude, he's playing out of position, but not making a big deal about it. He's taking on double teams. He's going against guards and tackles at the same time. He's holding his own. This guy's battle tested, and that's not what he needs to be doing. He's 239 pounds. So when he gets to the NFL, he'll have NFL coaching, and he'll be put in a place where he's able to be utilized to the best of his ability. And that's something that is very exciting for me, because I like these players. When I watch, I'm like, oh yeah, like I really like Will McDonald. It is going to be fun to watch Will McDonald take off, because Will McDonald is going to be somebody that has way more production in the NFL because he was never used properly in college. The times he lines up as an edge defender or a true edge rusher, he blows up the tape. He's awesome. If you guys haven't watched him, he's great. So it's weird. Nolan Smith is very NFL ready as a run defender, and as a pass rusher, I'd say he's a little raw, but I love the guy. I mean, anytime I see a guy like that who's a little undersized and, May isn't like the biggest edge defender. And seeing him sell out that much to stop the run, he's that good at stopping the run. That's a green flag for me. Like we talk about red flags in the draft, but that's a green flag. A guy that does that, he's actually built, right? He's got a ridiculous frame, really well built for the position. If you guys haven't heard him, I put out a video, my 1 minute scouting report on Isaiah McGuire out of Missouri. I don't know if we have any Mizzou Tiger fans in the chat right now. I'm a Kansas Jayhawk fan, so I'm not even going to pretend to like Missouri, but I like Isaiah McGuire. I buy into Isaiah McGuire. I know Isaiah McGuire. That's a guy I want on my football team. If the Rams are able to double dip and get Isaiah McGuire and Will McDonald, I will jump over the moon. I mean, having those two guys that can stop the run, two guys that can rush, one guy with a little bit more power, the other guy with a little bit more speed and crazy bend. I don't know, man. I bet on Isaiah McGuire though. Maybe 4th, 5th round, maybe 3rd. But this guy's flying under the radar. You watch his tape and you're like, the way he can deconstruct blocks. I mean, it's like, he's like one of the best in the draft at it. He makes run defense look easy. He's kind of, I don't want to compare him to a guy that went 3rd overall, but he kind of reminds me a little bit of Leonard Floyd. I think he's a little bit thicker, but I really like him. I really like him. So, kind of under the radar, not really talked about much, but McGuire is a name to look out for. He is a monster in the run game, and he's not half bad as a pass rusher either. Israel Abanikanda pro day testing. I did. Not shocked. He is every bit that on film. He's one of my favorite running backs in this draft. If the Rams could get him on day 3, sign me up. I think he's got real starting running back potential. I don't think he's raw as a lot of other guys say. And he's got some serious burn, if you know what I mean. Like this guy can really take it to the house. He has that next gear. And not everybody has that. Yeah, I'm excited to see him in the NFL. It's going to be hard. I don't have any draft picks this year in Dynasty. So it's like all these guys I'm falling in love with because I knew this was going to happen. I don't have any picks. I traded away my 1st round pick this year in my Dynasty fantasy league for Allen Robinson because I thought it would work out, and I could not have been more wrong. That would be insane. That's definitely not going to happen. It's funny. I look at these mock draft machines, and some of them get it right. I won't name names or anything, but there's some that are like Will McDonald 74th overall. Dude, tell me you didn't watch Will McDonald's film without telling me you didn't watch Will McDonald's film. 74th? Really? I will take him. If they could get him at pick 69 or 77, yeah. But that means that, because that's not a logical scenario for me in any facet, because if he was there at 36, I will beat Roger Goodell to the stage to turn in that pick. We'll announce it myself. And it won't be Roger Goodell. It's the 2nd round, so I forget who announced it. It's the deputy guy. But anyway, I'll beat whoever it is to the stage to announce the pick. That's how I would be. Like, Will McDonald's a 1st round talent. He shouldn't be there. If he's there, the Rams were blessed. Don't F it up. That simple. Don't screw this thing up. It's right there. If he falls to 36 and they pass on him, oh my Lord. There's a lot of great players, but I think this guy has all pro written on him. And I will be so angry. I feel that way unless here's my thing. I think the Rams are going to pick Will McDonald if he's there. I don't know if he'll be there, though. I think Dallas could get him. The Bills. I could see a few teams getting. I mean, he's a first rounder, so I don't know what I'm going to do with my mock draft because I'm just going to assume he won't be there. There's no point of putting him in there. I've already told you everything about him. I can't tell you anything more without obviously coming off like a creep at this point. I love the guy. I think he's a perfect fit. Felix Anudike-Uzama, I think, is the most likely. Will McDonald's the perfect pick, but if I'm being realistic, I don't think he'll get there. I just don't. I don't think he'll make it. Well, the cool thing about this draft is when you look at the running backs, it's just like your pick of the litter. You know, if you want a power back, you know, you got Chris Rodriguez, you got Tavion Thomas, you got you know, Zach Charbonnet, although he's more than a power, I would say, to be fair. But you got power backs. If you want a one cut back, you got Tank Bigsby, right? If you want just a monster video game type of player that's going to be a blast to play with in Madden, Deuce Vaughn, you know, Keaton Mitchell. I mean, Abanikanda is going to be a blast. You know, I think really there's so many different guys. I think kind of an under the radar guy that you need to know. I don't know what it is with Arizona State guys and getting underrated. I said this with Balaj. I mean, Arizona State just pumps out running backs that are underrated. I don't know why. But Xavier Valade had a great pro day. I think the Rams met with him. If I'm not if I'm not like lying, I mean, if I'm not, I don't even know what I'm saying. But I think the Rams met with him. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I meant to say. I don't know if they did. I thought they did. I don't know, but he's got like the coolest spelling. He's got like the coolest name, Xavier Valade, and the guy's electric. I don't know. That to me, if you're looking for an under the radar stud, you could probably get him on day 3. It's Xavier Valade out of Arizona State. No doubt. See, that's the thing. I want to see reaches, but I don't want to see anybody be on my board. You know? I don't get the vibe they're drafting a linebacker that high, like an inside backer, so root for inside backers to go in the first round. That'll help McDonald fall. I'd be rooting for, I don't think they're drafting a tackle, so I'd be rooting for tackles probably to go in the first round. I'd say linebacker, so inside linebacker, tackle, because they're not drafting one. Safety, I don't know. I think they could draft a safety. See, if you're looking for who they're going to look at, they might get one interior offensive lineman. I don't think they go crazy with offensive line. I've said this. The key here, they're looking at quarterback. They're looking at running back. They're looking at edge, corner. So quarter and corner. Edge, running back, and interior offensive line, I think, are their top things. I mean, you could definitely say like tight end receiver, they'll look at potentially get a wide receiver, probably definitely going to get a tight end late. But I mean, I think the 3 biggest needs for the Rams: edge, cornerback, interior offensive line, I think. I mean, look, the Jalen, I don't really know how much of a like the whole Jalen Carter stuff. I don't know what happened there. But I mean, to your point, like, yeah, they've been red flag central. Yeah, Carrington Valentine, I think his name. Yeah, he's trending highly. So you're at 36 and you're asking me top 3 guys I'd want for the Rams to draft. I assume guys that are realistic. Number 1 is Will McDonald. Okay. To me, he makes the most sense. Number 2, if McDonald's gone, let's be honest, if McDonald's gone, I'm trading down. But for the sake of this question, number 2, if McDonald's gone, I'm probably looking at a corner. And I haven't really gotten too into the corners yet. So let me just pull up my database really quick so I have it in front of me. But yeah, like corner, I'll be getting into them this week. I'm looking forward to it. But let's see here. I don't think Banks is going to fall. I don't know if Emmanuel Forbes will fall. I might go Emmanuel Forbes. I haven't really watched a lot, but I would probably say Emmanuel. All right, so let's go. I don't. Let's do this. Will McDonald, Anudike Uzama, and Emmanuel Forbes. As of right now, this can absolutely change, but as of right now, that's what I have. My top 3. Yeah, I don't know. I look forward to being able to actually like watch the film on all the corners. I'm pretty decent at cornerback evaluation. I've had some huge hits. Like Jair Alexander was my cornerback 1. I'm going to go through some of my hits because I want to see like how accurate has Jake been with the NFL draft. That is not what I'm trying. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's why. I love having everything in Google Drive. That's cool. I do very much enjoy that. So let's look here. Do I not have the full? I'm going to share my screen in a sec. Let's see. (2023) So I think this is the 22 board, which isn't really going to help. But I had Sauce Gardner, Stingley, Booth, McDuffie, Kyler Gordon. That was my top 5. Cam Taylor-Britt 6, Monteric Brown 7, Kyer Elam 8, Jalen Armour Davis 9, Kobe Bryant 10, Tyreek Woolen 11. I totally missed on Woolen. Like I don't know. I had Zion McCollum 12, Marcus Jones 13, Joshua Williams 14, and Damari Mathis 15. Jalen Watson was 16, Gregory Jr. 17, MJ Emerson 18, Roger McCreary 19, and a Caleb Evans 20. Oh, last year I didn't realize I watched 33 edge defenders. Number 1 was Kayvon Thibodeau. Number 2, Aiden Hutchinson. 3, Trayvon Walker. Jermaine Johnson was 4 for me. Ajabo was 5. Karlaftis was 6. Logan Hall out of Houston was 7. Arnold Ebiketie 8. Nick Benito 9. Josh Pascal 10. D'Angelo Malone 11. Drake Jackson 12, Amare Barno 13, Jeffrey Gunter 14, Cam Thomas 15, Isaiah Thomas 16, Boy Mafe 17, Christopher Allen 18, Kyron Johnson 19, and 20 was Dominique Robinson. Thought thought I was higher on him than that. I really wanted him when the draft came around, so that's weird. Wide receiver, I had Jameson Williams, John Mechie, Drake London, Christian Watson, Garrett Wilson. I had Garrett Wilson 5th. Wow. Alec Pierce 6, George Pickens 7, Calvin Austin 8, Traylon Burks 9, Chris Olave 10. Damn. All right, let's look at the you wanted Woolen. I feel like a lot of Rams fans wanted Woolen. So yeah, I mean, you know, what's his face didn't even really play Jameson Williams because of the injury, but I think Jameson Williams will end up being the. I don't know if he'll be the best receiver from the class because Garrett Wilson's so far ahead, but he's going to be great. Okay. So here's how I had the quarterbacks. Trey Lance, number 1. Justin Fields, number 2. Trevor Lawrence, number 3. Zach Wilson, 4. Davis Mills, 5. Mac Jones, 6. Kellen Mond, 7. Kyle Trask, 8. Ian Book, 9. Donald Hammond the third out of Air Force was 10. That draft hasn't really led to anybody blowing up for the most part. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has done something, and Justin Fields is really he's a really good running quarterback, but Trey Lance hasn't done anything yet, you know. Running back, I had Najee Harris, Javonte Williams, Trey Sermon, Kenneth Gainwell, Travis Etienne, Kylan Hill, Puka Williams, Khalil Herbert, Jamar Jefferson, and Michael Carter is the top 10. Elijah Mitchell was 11th for me. I really liked Mitchell coming out. Wide receiver, Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Rashad Bateman, Terrace Marshall, Rondell Moore, Kadarius Toney, Simi Fehoko, Tylan Wallace, and Nico Collins. I've already been open and honest. I had Atwell really low. I had him as my 35th receiver. I liked him after the draft more, but I to be fair, I don't have a lot of time. Like, I watch 3 games of every player, and that's pretty much it. I had Elijah Moore as my 12th prospect. I had Jonathan Adams Jr. as my 13th. Amon-Ra St. Brown was my 16th rated prospect. That's crazy. I guess I really wasn't that high on Amon-Ra. I don't know why. I thought I was. Kyle Pitts, Pat Freiermuth, Brevin Jordan, Kylan Granson, Trey McKitty, Tommy Tremble, Kenny Yeboah, Quentin Morris, Hunter Long. He was my 9th. Zach Davidson was 10th. Let's see cornerback in 2021. Patrick Surtain was number 1. J.C. Horn number 2. Caleb Farley number 3. Afadu Melifonwu was 4. Gregory Newsome was 5. Asante Samuel Jr. was 6th. Eric Stokes was 7th. Paulson Adebo was 8. Aaron Robinson was 9. And Tay Gowan was 10th. Robert Rochelle was my 14th corner in that draft. Let's see. That was 2021. Oh, Edge. That's what I was going to look up. So Edge, I had Jalen Phillips, number 1. Number 2 was Micah Parsons. Yes, I had him as an edge. Everyone had him as an off-ball linebacker, and I felt like that was the poorest way to use him. And I know that's how they're using him, but I had him as an edge. And man, did I love Jalen Phillips coming out of Miami. I thought that guy had elite level pass rushing ability. Peyton Turner, loved him coming out of Houston. Azeez Ojulari was number 4 for me. Jordan Smith. Gregory Rousseau was 6. I still love Gregory Rousseau. I thought that was Bills made a great pick. Patrick Johnson out of Tulane was 7. Kwity Paye was 8. Hamilcar Rashed was 9. Quincy Roche was 10. Jason Odafe Owe was 11. Carlos Basham, Boogie Basham was 12th for me. Joe Tryon from Washington was 13th. Where did I have? Okay. Yeah, that's what I had there. All right, let's see my 2020 class. Yeah, actually, that's a great point. In 2021, I was still working at the call center. So at that point, yeah, I mean, it was a lot of work. So looking at this, my quarterbacks in 2020, I had Joe Burrow, Jacob Eason, Justin Herbert, Cole McDonald, Tua Tagovailoa, Anthony Gordon, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, Bryce Perkins, and James Morgan. The big miss in this one, let's see, what's the biggest miss in the 2020 draft? I don't think I missed on anybody super bad. You could argue, I mean, I should have probably had guys a little bit higher. Like having Jacob Eason ahead of Justin Herbert was probably a miss. But I'm talking about like guys that I completely was wrong on. Like I was right about Jalen Hurts. Like while he was 7th on my board, like for quarterback, I had him as a late first round, early second round pick. I really liked Anthony Gordon. I thought he was going to be something. I was wrong about Cole McDonald. But I mean, Tua Tagovailoa, I still had a first round grade on. He just, he's 5th for me. I was really high on Jacob Eason. I still can't believe he didn't work out. Running backs, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Antonio Gibson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, J.K. Dobbins, Darrington Evans. I really like Darrington Evans. A.J. Dillon, Cam Akers, Joshua Kelly, and Anthony McFarland. Guy I was most wrong about? Let's see. Anybody? James Robinson. I had him as 23rd. Probably the most wrong about him. That would be the only one that I would say I was really wrong about. Yeah, I mean, I think I got Taylor right. Dobbins top 5. I had Akers at 8th. I wasn't very high on Akers. And then I was able to watch more than 3 games, and I really liked him. Wide receivers. Oh, this is gonna sting. Number 1, Henry Ruggs. Number 2, Jerry Jeudy. Number 3, CeeDee Lamb. Number 4, Justin Jefferson. Number 5, Jalen Reagor. Number 6, Denzel Mims. Number 7, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Well, that wasn't a bad Donovan Peoples-Jones there. Number 8, Michael Pittman Jr. 9, Van Jefferson. 10, Brian Edwards. 11, T. Higgins. I wasn't very high on T. Higgins from what I remember. Tyler Johnson, 12. Laviska Shenault was 14. Gabe Davis was 15. Ooh, I missed on Ayuk. I had him as the 16th. I didn't think he'd go in the first round or wherever he went. I think it was the first round. I didn't get the Ayuk hype, if I'm being honest. So I missed on Ayuk. Claypool at 17th. Isaiah Hodgins, I had as a 3rd rounder. That's he sure looked like it this year when he got a chance. Who did I really miss on? Let's see. Anyone that really blew up? No, I mean, I missed on some guys at the top, but you could argue order, but like guys I totally missed on, I don't know if there's anybody I totally missed on. Duvernay in the 4th round. Yeah, I mean, Quez Watkins, 4th round pick. I don't know. You could say I missed on Ayuk, but I had... So, and also keep this in mind, with my list, I had Ayuk 16th, but I had him as a 2nd rounder. Gabe Davis, 2nd round. Laviska Shenault, 2nd round. T. Higgins I had as a late first. I had 11 wide receivers in the 1st round. Van Jefferson was the 9th receiver. I had him as a mid 1st round pick. And then the early 1st round, like the top 15, Ruggs, Jeudy, Lamb, and Jefferson. I definitely got to do a live mock draft eventually. You're 100% right. Where did I have? Oh, tight ends is interesting. Bryson Hopkins, Adam Troutman, Colby Parkinson, Thaddeus Moss, Dalton Keene, Cole Kmet, Hunter Bryant, Harrison Bryant, Josiah DeGuara, and Jacob Breland. Yeah, there wasn't, I don't know. Edge. Yeah, not a lot of huge misses. That's what you're trying to avoid, really, because you're gonna have misses, but are they like massive? Like, oh, I can't believe that's the thing. Chase Young was my number 1 edge. Number 2 was Kaylavon Chason. Number 3 was Josh Uche. 4 was Zach Bond. Number 5 was Yetur Gross-Matos. Number 6 is AJ Epinesa. 7, Julian Aquara. 8, Bradley Anai. 9, Derek Tuska. And 10, Alex Highsmith. I had 11, Terrell Lewis. Ironically, the Rams picked him right about. Yeah, they picked him. I had him as a 3rd rounder, and I didn't really like him that much. I don't know. It's not that I disliked him. It's that I was really concerned about his injuries. The guy I really missed on the most. No one really. You could argue Darrell Taylor since he went in the 2nd round, and I had him as what? A 4th round pick. That's probably my biggest miss at edge. Okay. So linebacker, Isaiah Simmons, Patrick Queen, Akeem Davis Gaither, Kenneth Murray, Logan Wilson, Malik Harrison, Justin Sternad, Evan Weaver, Jordan Brooks, Willie Gay. My biggest miss, Michael Walker. I had a 5th round grade on. He starts for the Atlanta Falcons. He's a fun guy to watch. He's got good tape. I know this is the draft with what's his face? TJ Edwards? Maybe not. I don't see him. I didn't really miss on that many guys. Like I had Michael Walker in the 5th round. You know, you could argue he could have been higher, but I don't think that's a huge miss. All right. Corners. Okuda. I thought Okuda was just about a lock to be a star. And he's kind of at a bumpy road. Christian Fulton, CJ Henderson, Jeff Gladney, Damon Arnett. Trayvon Diggs I had in the 1st round. So actually I was higher on Trayvon Diggs than where he got drafted. Used my 7th or 6th corner. AJ Terrell is my 7th. I had him as a 1st round pick. Bryce Hall I had in the 1st round. My biggest miss as far as guys at the bottom that really did they do anything here? Let's look. I mean, Cameron Curl turned into a starting player. I mean, he's a safety, so I don't know if that's necessarily an L. I don't know. Yeah, wow, there's really not a lot of misses. I mean, safety. I had Antoine Winfield Jr., Grant Delpit, Kyle Duggar, Xavier McKinney, Jeremy Chin. I had Chin in the 1st round. Ashton Davis, Terrell Burgess. I missed on Ashton Davis and Terrell Burgess. Kenny Robinson I missed on. Alohi Gilman. Anyone I had super low that ended up Jordan Fuller, 25th. I missed on Jordan Fuller because he's better than the 25th safety in that draft. But that's where I had him. Funny, Antoine Brooks, who I think is still on the Rams if I'm not mistaken. Antoine Brooks I had as 15th. Oh, J.R. Reed I had as 12th. The Rams let him go. I didn't even realize how high I was on J.R. Reed. It's funny going back and looking at this. Do I have the 2019 draft class? Probably not. I probably don't have the draft board. The problem is I didn't have these all on a Google Drive, right? So what ended up happening is when my HP computer died, I lost all my notes. I had a lot of notes. So I don't know. I'll look and see if it's in here. Oh, 2019 NFL draft board. Okay. So I do have in 2019. Let's see. Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace. I love Dwayne. I thought he was going to be a stud, and I don't know. I don't think Washington gave him a fair shot. Sam Sloman. Yeah, I did not have him getting drafted. Yeah, so Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, Brett Rippon, Tyree Jackson, Drew Lock, Will Greer, Gardner Minshew, Devlin Hodges, Jordan Ta'amu, and Clayton Thorson. I had Daniel Jones as my 11th quarterback. I had him as a 4th rounder. No, 3rd rounder. Trace McSorley, Jarrett Stidham, who might end up starting sooner than later, 3rd rounder. Anyone I totally missed on? I mean, God, this class, like, none of these guys hit. Okay. I would say I definitely missed on Daniel Jones. He was like 3rd rounder, and the guy just, he made $40 million a year. Minshew, I was high on. Minshew had as a 2nd rounder. Running backs, Darrell Henderson. So I had Darrell Henderson, Josh Jacobs, Rodney Anderson. What the hell happened to that guy? Do you guys remember Rodney Anderson from Oklahoma? He was I had a huge grade on him. I know I have him listed. His name is in pink, which I only did that for guys that I had serious medical concerns about. So that's probably what happened to him. Bryce Love also in pink. That's probably what happened. He probably had a bunch of injuries that derailed him. David Montgomery was 4th for me. James Williams was 5th. Damian Harris was 6th. I really like Damian Harris in that draft. Devine Ezigbo, Travion Williams, Darwin Thompson, Malik Irons, Raquel Armstead. Miles Sanders I had as a 2nd rounder. So, I don't know. 12th running back, I guess you could say I missed on him. Devin Singletary I had as a 2nd rounder, 17th running back. I had anyone else here? Myles Gaskin, 3rd round. Tony Pollard I missed on. I really like Tony Pollard, but I don't know why he's rated so low. I really liked his film. Tony Pollard is 29th. Let's see. Ty Johnson, 40th. I watched 52 running backs that year. No, that's not happening this year. I watched 25 and I'm good. Yeah, okay. Wide receiver. DK Metcalf, Hakeem Butler, that was a miss. Kelvin Harmon, another miss. AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Keelan Doss, another miss. Anthony Ratliff-Williams, another miss. Antoine Wesley, another miss. Penny Hart, a miss. DeMarcus Lodge, I don't know where he went. N'Keal Harry I had at 12, so I think I honestly hit on N'Keal Harry. I didn't think he was a top 10 receiver in that class, and I was right. Marquise Brown I was super low on, 13th. Mecole Hardman I had at 16th. Hunter Renfrow I had at 14th. I was pretty high on Hunter Renfrow. Deontay Johnson, I thought I was higher on him. Him and Slayton, I had him in the 20s, but again, those rankings don't really matter because I had them in the 2nd round or 3rd round or whatever. So, Paris Campbell, I feel like I'm right about 29th. He hasn't really done anything. The guy I missed the most on, Olamide Zaccheaus. 59th wide receiver. I think he's done enough to say that I missed on him. Aside from that, I'd probably say I'd say him and what I already mentioned. Preston Williams I liked, but I have the red character concerns on there. I don't know why. I don't know what his character concerns were. I labeled it red. Jacoby Myers, 30. It's weird, 32nd. Like, I actually remember really liking Jacoby Myers, especially from the Senior Bowl. Here it is. I brought this up, this edge class. And be aware, there's some misses on here. But Brian Burns, number 1. Nick Bosa, number 2. Josh Allen, number 3. It looks like I nailed those 3. Ja'Kai Polite, number 4. Unfortunately, didn't work out. Cleveland Farrell, number 5. I didn't understand the first edge rusher, one of the top edge rusher hype, but whatever. Montez Sweat, 6. Chase Winovich, 7. Omenahue, 8. Jalen Ferguson, rest in peace, 9th. Max Crosby, 10th. So I had Max Crosby as a top 10 rusher. I had him in the early second round. I can feel good about that. Christian Miller, LJ Collier, Justin Hollins, DeAndre Walker, Joe Jackson, Ben Benogu, Rashawn Gary. I guess I was really low on. I mean, I had him as a second rounder, but I know a lot of people had him higher. Anyone I missed completely on? Who was anyone that came out of nowhere? I'm looking, not seeing much though. Anthony Nelson, he was my 24th. Zach Allen got paid. He's my 23rd edge defender. So I guess you could say I missed on him. Linebacker, Blake Cashman was number 1 for me. I was so high on Blake Cashman. And he's a friend of the show. Devin White, Devin Bush, Jelani Tavai, Terrell Hanks, Voshawn Joseph, Mac Wilson, Bobby Okereke, Tavon Coney, Josiah Tawaefa. Man, there's Quentin Bell. I had in 29th. He won a Super Bowl, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. David Long Jr. just got a deal. Yeah, I don't know. Look at corners. I think it's it. I don't think I have the 2018 one. I could look, but I don't think I have it. Byron Murphy, number 1. Justin Lane, number 2. That was a miss. Number 3, Amani Oruwariye. I think I nailed that one. DeAndre Baker, number 4. Greedy Williams, number 5. Rocky Sin, number 6. Lonnie Johnson, 7. Mark Fields, the 2nd, 8. Trayvon Mullen, 9. Sean Bunting, 10. Michael Jackson, 11. Julian Love, 12. David Long, the Rams, David Long, 13. Jamel Dean, 14. I can't believe I was that low on Jamel Dean. I loved Jamel Dean coming out. Biggest miss, Nick Needham. I had it 43. And that guy's been a stud since they have wanted him to play. Another guy I flat out missed on is Rashad Fenton, who started for the Chiefs. I had him at 41. Keyshawn Nixon, I had at 22, though. And he's turned himself into a good player. He just got we interviewed him. He just got another contract with the Packers. Yeah, aside from that, I mean, I don't know. I missed on some guys. I hit on some guys. Joanne Harris, I did not buy the hype on. 19th there. Okay. What about safety? Nasir Adderley literally retired from the NFL. I had him first. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, 2nd. I had Will Harris, 3rd. Darnell Savage, 4th. Juan Thornhill, 5th. Evan Worthington, 6th. Sheldrick Redwine, such a cool name. Jonathan Abram was 8th. Ugo Amadi was 9th. Amani Hooker was 10th. Taylor Rapp I had as the 12th overall safety in this draft. The whole quarterback class was a miss. Let's see. Is there anybody that was super wrong about? Jaquan Johnson, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what I feel like he's Andrew Wingard. He was 20th. Marquise Blair 15th, Kari Willis 14th, Mike Edwards 13th. I was a little bit higher on Mike Edwards than I thought. I remember when like Zedric Woods, I think it was, he ran like a stupid 40 time and everyone like lost their mind for him. I had him as the 32nd safety. All right, let's see. We got, let's see, 2018. Do I have that? Oh, I have the 2018 one too. Quarterback, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield, Kyle Lauletta, Luke Falk, Josh Allen. That's my big miss. I compared Josh Allen to Josh McCown. That's a real comparison. I compared Lamar Jackson to Steve Young, Sam Darnold to Jameis Winston, Josh Rosen to Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield to Doug Flutie, Kyle Lauletta to Kirk Cousins, Luke Falk to Mark Bulger, Mason Rudolph to Blake Bortles. I had Chase Litton. I don't think he played. Mike Glennon, Ben Kurt, Case Keenum, Logan Woodside, Blaine Gabbert. Mike White, I had at 14th. A 5th rounder, I believe. Kyle Allen, I had at 17th. Also a 5th rounder. Or not a 5th rounder, 7th rounder. Yeah. See, I'm always open. I mean, I missed on Josh Allen. I'm not hiding it. Running back, Saquon Barkley, Darius Geis. Wow, I definitely. So I compared Darius Geis to Ray Rice. Okay. All right. That's very interesting. Saquon Barkley, I compared to Garrison Hurst. Saquon Barkley, I compared to 49er running back Garrison Hurst. Ronald Jones was 3rd. Sony Michel was 4th. Nick Chubb was 5th. Kerryon Johnson 6th. Kalen Ballage 7th. Nyheim Hines 8th. Mark Walton 9th. Bo Scarborough 10th. I had Royce Freeman 14th. That guy still is on the team. Rashad Penny was 17th. I did not get the Rashad Penny hype. I didn't get it. John Kelly, I had as 16th, and that's who the Rams took that year. Dearness Johnson, 24th. I was wrong about him. Philip Lindsay at 29th. I was wrong about him. Justin Jackson at 25th. Chase Edmonds at 21st. Yeah, I'd say my biggest miss. I mean, Geis is my biggest miss. I really like Darius Geis's game. I was really bummed about that whole thing. Wasn't even trying to crap on him just now. It's just the fact that he was compared to Ray Rice. That was like, what? Jesus. All right, wide receivers. This is going to be ugly. Dante Pettis, Cortland Sutton, Antonio Callaway, Deshaun Hamilton, Christian Kirk, DJ Chark, Marcel Aitman, Calvin Ridley, Deontay Burnett, Equanimous St. Brown. I had Anthony Miller at 11, James Washington at 14, Cedric Wilson at 15. DJ Moore I had at 18. I didn't think DJ Moore was going to be that great. I was wrong. Michael Gallup at 20. Was wrong about him. Who else? Alan Lazard at 25th. Was absolutely wrong about him. Braxton Berrios at 35th. Yeah, I mean, I would say I was wrong about him. I think he's had a solid career. That's it as far as that goes. But yeah, my biggest miss is no doubt, at least in my opinion, it's DJ Moore. DJ Moore was 18th. I had him as a 4th round pick. So I was absolutely off on DJ Moore. Biggest miss in at tight end. I won't read them all. Mark Andrews at 8 just jumps off the page. Is just such a miss. I mean, it's, you know, Mike Gesicki at 1, Dallas Goedert at 2, Hayden Hurst at 3, Conklin at 4, Ian Thomas at 5. Having Mark Andrews at 8th is just ridiculous. Dalton Schultz I had just outside the top 10. I feel a little bit better about that, but I don't know. Edge, let's see, edge defenders. Bradley Chubb was 1, Marcus Davenport was 2, Harold Landry was 3, Josh Sweat was 4. I feel good about this. Josh Sweat has become everything I thought he would be with Philly. Harold Landry, when healthy, is a great pass rusher. Marcus Davenport is a very good pass rusher. Bradley Chubb is like, he's not a star, but he's really, really good. Dorrance Armstrong Jr. out of Kansas, I had 5th. Really liked him. I think he's carved out a pretty solid career with the Cowboys. Arden Key is all over the place. I didn't buy into the Arden Key as the best pass rusher in the draft hype, but I didn't buy into the fact that Arden Key was a straight up bust, like a lot of people were saying. I loved Uchenna Nwosu. He comes in at 7. Duke Ejiofor I might have missed on. Sam Hubbard I had at 9th. Obanaya Okoronkwo I had at 10th. I liked Obo a lot. Kamoko Torre. Fun fact, the 2018 draft, on the eve of the 2018 draft, Kamoko Torre came on my live stream. Now, at the time, I didn't have a YouTube. So what I mean by live stream is he came on and we actually did, he came on Skype, and what we did is we live streamed from Spreaker. So I did a live podcast with Kamoko Torre that you can find on Downtown Rams. I'd never done anything like that. I thought that was really cool. He's like, I'm not going to go on day 1. So he's like, maybe I will, but you know, he just hung out with me the night before. I thought that was cool. Ola Adani. I like that I had him at 12. Lorenzo Carter at 11. You know, I think my biggest miss, I had Justin Lawler at 23rd. I think my biggest miss would probably be, this is tough. I mean, Duke Ejiofor being ahead of Sam Hubbard. Linebackers, I had Tremaine Edmonds, Rashawn Evans, Shaquem Griffin, Roquan Smith. Oh, Roquan Smith not being number 1 or number 2 is a miss in my opinion. Darius Leonard I had 7, so I was very high on him. Jannard Avery didn't really do anything. Well, I won't say he didn't do anything, but Sean Dion Hamilton, Tigre Scales, Josie Jewell, Fred Warner at 11 is a miss in my opinion. Micah Kaiser at 12. I missed. I had Kenny Young at 24. Wow. Yeah, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I should have had, like, Leighton Vander Esch was 5. I should have had Roquan higher, to be fair. Corner, Jair Alexander, Denzel Ward, Isaiah Oliver, probably missed on him. Carlton Davis, Mike Hughes, Josh Jackson, Holton Hill I missed on. Danny Johnson has had a pretty solid career. Underrated there in Washington. Devontae Harris, MJ Stewart. I missed on JC Jackson. I had him at 13. He went undrafted, so I guess I didn't miss on him. I was higher on him than the consensus, but still. DJ Reed, 19. Missed on him. Or did I? I don't know. Who's one guy I'm like missed the most on? Let's see. Levi Wallace, 32nd. That's probably the biggest miss out of all those guys, I'd probably say. JC Jackson, DJ Reed to an extent, but do you think AD would be as good as he was? 100%. No doubt, my father and I wanted Aaron Donald. We always wanted Aaron Donald. We wanted him. He was the best player in the draft. We were praying that they'd pick him at 2. They didn't. Then we were praying he'd fall to 13, and he did. I don't know to this day why the Giants picked Odell over him. It's nothing against Odell. I love Odell. But the Giants had just let Linval Joseph go. So it will never make any sense why they passed on Aaron Donald. Because they actually had a need. The Rams didn't have a need. They just grabbed the best player available, and that was Aaron Donald. Safety, I had Minka Fitzpatrick, Jesse Bates, Derwin James, Jordan Whitehead, Terrell Edmonds. This is kind of a crazy safety draft so far. I mean, those 4 guys hit. You could argue Terrell Edmonds hit to an extent. Ronnie Harrison, Dane Kirkshank, Quinn Blanding, Justin Reed. I was lower on Justin Reed. Saran Neal. Kaiser White isn't even a safety anymore. Deshaun Elliott. Biggest miss, I will say, I'm going to say the biggest miss is having Justin Reed at 9. You could argue Justin Reed is right on the same tier as like Jesse Bates, Minka Fitzpatrick, Derwin James. I mean, he's that good. So to have him at 9 was probably a big miss. I had him as a second rounder, so it's not like the end all be all. It's not the end of the world, but I think that is a miss. If you know, in the effort of self-scouting, admitting your mistakes, having Justin Reed as my 9th safety, that's a miss. It just is. So I think my biggest hit on this was Lamar Jackson as the best quarterback. Now you could argue Josh Allen is certainly better. I mean, he is, but Lamar is an MVP. You know, it's not that I got that wrong. I mean, you're not going to argue, you know, the MVP. All right, let's see. Do I have a 2017? Maybe I do. No, I do not. That's a bummer. Yeah, I lost the 2017 one because that's so annoying. Wait, maybe there's a filter. Okay, there is. Let's see, 2017. Let's go even further. Let's see if maybe I didn't title it 2017 draft or whatever. I'm going to do that. Okay. I want to see if I can find this 2017 anything. Let's see. Community draft. Copy of archived NFL mock draft. What the hell is this? Huh. I am so surprised. I do not even have like what is the community mock draft? Downtown Rams community mock draft. No offense. If you guys were in this, I don't even remember doing this. Oh, I do remember doing this. Okay. I did this on Facebook. Wow. Okay. This is... Man, this is crazy. I don't know if any of you guys were in this, but that is crazy. I drafted the Dolphins and the Rams. Shocker. I gave the Rams... Well, who did I give the Dolphins? 2017. Miami. I took Garyon Conley. Oh, so I failed. Okay. I gave the Rams Chris Godwin. 37th overall. Where's Miami Dolphins? Justin Evans. Yeah, I'm not doing so well. Sorry, Miami. Round 3, I drafted Jalen Tabor for the Rams. Yeah, I don't know if I hit on that one. I don't think so. Miami, who'd I draft? Alex Anzalone. Okay. I mean, that wasn't the best pick, but it could have been worse. Round 4, Carroll Phillips for the Rams. I don't even know who that is. I mean, I do know who that is, but I don't think he did anything. Right after that, the Chargers drafted Kenny Golladay, whoever was using the Chargers. I don't even think... I got Blair Brown in the 4th round for the Rams as a compensatory pick. Okay, round 5, Jonnu Smith. Okay, drafted Johnny Smith. I can't believe I didn't take George Kittle at any point. I loved George Kittle. I thought he was a no doubter. This is just a community mock draft, so like whatever. We never finished. How about that? We never finished the draft. So in the 5th round, it just ends. I drafted Ryan Switzer for the Dolphins, and for the Rams, I drafted Johnny Smith, and then whoever was using the Jets took Josh Reynolds right after that. Wow. Man, this takes me back. That's pretty crazy. Chargers took Patrick Mahomes, 7th overall. Yeah, that's a bummer though. I guess I don't have it. I don't have my board. Rams meetings isn't going to do it. Wait a minute. Is this it? Oh. I think I did find my board. It's just not in it's not in player order. It's not in position order. Okay. I had Jalen Ramsey number 1 overall. Best player in the 2016 draft. Miles Jack was number 2. I had Jalen Smith as the 3rd best. Carson Wentz. Oh, wait. I don't even think this is mine. I don't know what this is, guys. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what this is. This isn't mine. I don't. This is probably something that was in my. Yeah, like no idea what this is. I probably got tagged in something because I'm going through my Google Drive now, and that's not my work. I'm not going to take credit for something that isn't mine. That's definitely not my work. So, which is a bummer. What's this? Copy of fantasy football draft board. Okay, I don't even know what some of the stuff that I'm like tagged in is kind of bizarre. The only thing I could think of is that maybe it is in the Downtown Rams Google Drive and not my personal one. That would be cool if it is. I am not expecting it to be, but that would be cool if it was. NFL draft prospects. Nope. Preseason stat. I can't find anything, man. (2017) DTR top 10. Yeah, I guess I just don't have it. That's a shame, man. NFL draft board. Like, I don't know where. I found it. Let's go. I can't believe there's still 34 people in here. Like, my God, there's no way. Okay. So 2016. Okay, I had Tunsil number 1. That's what I thought. I had Tunsil number 1. I had Carson Wentz number 2. Miles Jack, Jalen Smith, and Jalen Ramsey. 2017. Patrick Mahomes, my number 1 quarterback, followed by Chad Kelly, Deshaun Kaiser, Brad Kaya, Kyle Sloter, Mitch Trubisky, Joshua Dobbs, Gerard Evans, David Washington, Philip Walker. My biggest miss, Deshaun Watson, 14th. I didn't think Deshaun Watson was going to be good. I just did not. But keep in mind, I'm a lot better now as far as evaluating. I think back then I just didn't really know exactly what I was watching. But hey, I got Patrick Mahomes right, so. Fournette, Kamara, Dalvin Cook, Kareem Hunt, James Conner, Christian McCaffrey, Dante Foreman, Samaje Perine, Joe Mixon, Jamal Williams. Can we take a moment to realize how crazy that top 10 is? This running back draft was insane. Leonard Fournette, yeah, he's not the best running back in the league, but he's had his moments. Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, right? Kareem Hunt has had a lot of, he's had a lot of success in this league. James Conner, 1,000-yard rusher. Christian McCaffrey is arguably the best running back in the league, one of them at least. Dante Foreman just had a great year last year, coming back from multiple neck and knee, and then Samaje Perine just signed a second deal with the Broncos. Joe Mixon is a franchise running back, and Jamal Williams just broke the Lions' single season touchdown record. That's crazy. That's a really good. Aaron Jones I had as 14th, Tariq Cohen 15th. Aaron Jones, same draft. This running back draft was nuts. Chris Carson I had 25th. Chris Carson was nuts. Chris Carson, Aaron Jones, add to that list. That's crazy. That running back draft in 2017 was nuts. Wide receiver, Corey Davis, Mike Williams, Chris Godwin, Juju Smith-Schuster, Zay Jones, Tywan Taylor, and Cooper Kupp. I had Kupp as the 7th receiver. Now, I had Kupp as a second-round pick, and his comparison was Keenan Allen. But wow, I had him 7th. Robert Davis, John Ross, Kenny Golladay was 10th for me. Biggest miss is Cooper Kupp, period. Yep, exactly. Joe Mixon dropped because of off-the-field issues. I actually had off-the-field issues. I had the red highlighter. Chad Kelly, red highlighted. Joe Mixon. Jamal Williams apparently had a character concern. And Dalvin Cook, from what I can see here. Big miss, Curtis Samuel, 25th out of 30. It's kind of a big miss. Kenny Golladay wasn't a bad pick. Northern Illinois, 10th. Tight end, George Kittle, O.J. Howard, Evan Ingram, David Njoku, Gerald Everett I had at 5th, Adam Shaheen 6th. Bucky Hodges 7th, Jake Butt 8th, Johnny Smith 9th, Jordan Leggett 10th. Biggest miss, I mean, there really wasn't anyone there. Anthony Ferkser ended up being pretty decent. I had him at 29th, and he ended up actually being decent. Edge, I had Charles Harris, TJ Watt, and Tyus Bowser. I guess I thought Myles Garrett was in this draft. Oh, I didn't even finish edge. Yeah, I guess I didn't finish edge. I didn't finish my scouting for edge. Shows you how busy I was. Didn't finish linebackers. Didn't finish corners. Safeties I finished, but yeah, I don't know. Interesting. 2016 isn't by positions. I just took my top 100 players and put them all together. Biggest miss, let's see. Anyone who's really, really good that I had way too low? That's funny. I was keeping track of where I thought they would go and where they went. That is funny. That would be fun with all those picks they have. I could probably get something. Leonard Floyd was my 11th overall player in that draft. What do you know? Ashawn Robinson was 28th for me. I really liked Will Jackson. Noah Spence is another player I really liked. Vernon Butler is a player I really liked. I was very high on Vernon Butler. Vernon Hargreaves, I was very high on him. Jared Goff, 6th. Ezekiel Elliott, 8th. DeForest Buckner, I loved DeForest Buckner coming out. So in turn, of course, he went to the 49ers. Sua Cravens, I really like too. God, Eli Apple. I had him at 32nd, so I had a late first on him. He went 10th. Laquan Treadwell, I had 26th. He went 23rd. I was very high on Tyler Boyd, so I was right about that. I had him as the 24th overall player and Michael Thomas as the 23rd overall player. They both went in the second round. Andrew Billings I had in the first round, and he went the 4th. Who else? Xavier Howard I had a second rounder on, and he went the second round. Derrick Henry was my... There's no way that's right. I liked Derrick Henry way more than I liked Ezekiel Elliott. My aunt knew Derrick Henry because he went to Yulee High School, and she used to teach there. So, fun fact. Derrick Henry once had 10 rushing touchdowns in a game at the high school level. I don't know if you've ever seen his highlights from high school. It's scary. I really liked Chris Jones, but I guess I didn't like him as much as I thought. Tyler Higbee, I was super high on. Oh my God, 61st overall player. He got drafted in the 4th round. I had a second round grade on Tyler Higbee. He's not. Ezekiel Elliott's not going to go to the Rams. That's not even like on his list. I remember I wanted the Rams to get Jason Spriggs out of Indiana. Jordan Howard. I was huge on Jordan Howard. 52nd overall player. He went the 5th round. I have some hits on this. Paxton Lynch is not one of them. Having him as a first round pick is not a hit. Robert Kemdici, not a hit. Josh Doxson, I had him as my number 1 receiver. Not a hit. I remember that Higbee had off the field. Yeah, I loved Higbee in the draft. I was hoping the Rams would get him. Anybody? Cardale Jones. I loved Cardale Jones. I had him as the 90th player. He didn't do anything, but Farrell Cooper, 88th. The Rams got him 117th. I used to bust on my friend Alex because he had the same name as Alex Collins, the running back for Arkansas. Kentrell Brothers, I remember him. Nick Vanette, I liked him out of Ohio State. TJ Green out of Clemson was like this athletic freak. And back in this time in 2016, having the opportunity to get a 6'3", 6'4" safety, like the Legion of Boom, like it was just, who ran a 4.4. Because keep in mind, 2016 Jake, which now that I think about it, was a while ago. That was 7 years. 7 years ago, 2016 Jake was all about the measurables. Now I don't care as much. I'm all about the tape. But back then, I was all about the measurables. I really liked the 40 times on. Now I don't really care. I mean, the 40 times matter, but not as much as people make it out to be, I think. in my opinion, I focus way more on tape. Jacoby Brissett, 70th overall player. I was very high on Jacoby Brissett. I'll take that win. Jeremy Cash. Man, I was high on him. 65th. Kevin Byard. I had him 64th, and he got drafted 64th overall. Will Fuller didn't get the hype. I had him as a late second, early third, and he went the first. Is he getting like signed? Is Will Fuller done? Like what's happening with Will Fuller? I feel like I haven't seen him. Like he went from having, I think he had like a 40 fantasy point day that I had him in FanDuel, and then like he never played again after he got suspended. Like I don't know what happened to Will Fuller. Connor Cook, I liked for some reason, 59th. Yeah, there's a lot of guys in here. A lot of guys in here. So that's it. I definitely don't have any more than 2016, but you guys know I self-scout. I'm open with my hits, my misses, all that. I definitely have nothing to hide. So if you guys ever want to ask me where I have a guy rated, just tell me the certain, the time period or whatever. Or like give me the date of the draft class, and I will, I'll be able to look it up for you guys because, yeah, I have it all here. I just didn't get around to finishing most. Sterling Shepard, I was very high on. I remember that. I had Sterling Shepard, 41st overall player. Braxton Miller, oh my God, dude. Braxton Miller was a cheat code in Madden. I don't know why. You put him in the slot, and Braxton Miller just went off in Madden. Rankins, I didn't buy into the hype that he was the next Aaron Donald. Never understood that. I thought Rankins was a good player that got unfairly overrated. Put a lot of pressure on him for Aaron Donald. Where do I have Eddie Jackson? I loved Eddie Jackson. Was he 2017 or 2016? It's 2016? Because if that's the case, I don't even have him in the top 100, and I only did 100 players. So that's crazy. I was super high on Eddie Jackson. What's up, Jose? Appreciate you being in here. That is so wild. Yes, Terrell Pryor. I actually really liked Terrell Pryor. Eddie Jackson was in the he was in the 2017 draft. Okay, where did I have him in the 2017 draft? Okay, so I had him. I never scouted him. 2017 was a rough year for me. I don't know what happened, but I finished all the offense. No, I didn't actually. This is for the most part untouched. So I finished the quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and then didn't watch tackles, guards, centers, defensive tackles. Watched a few edge guys. Watched Reuben Foster. That's the only linebacker I watched. Chidobe Awuzie, I remember him being my favorite. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. This is the draft with Chidobe Awuzie. I know what happened. I did watch them. I didn't keep track of this. That's what it was. DowntownRams.com. I think I have a top 350 big board Downtown Rams. Ellenbogen final top. Oh no, that's 2020. I did that in 2020. Damn. Okay. Big board Downtown Rams. NFL Big Board Archive. I am, Ellenbogen big board. The 2020, 2018, 2017. This is crazy. Like I don't, man, you know, I might have actually lost it when I was, funny story, downtownrams.com is where I got my start. I mean, I started on my own. I got my start on Turf Show Times. I wrote fan posts. For those of you who don't know, I wrote about all these mock drafts. One of the mock draft caught fire. It was right after Carson Wentz. Not after Carson Wentz. It was right after the trade where the Browns traded with the Eagles. The Eagles traded up to 2. So the Rams picked 1, Eagles picked 2. Rams picked Goff, Eagles picked Wentz. So I had the Rams picking Wentz and the Eagles picking Goff. This mock draft, which I just did 32 teams or 32 picks, I gave a little blurb of each player, blew up. Like on SB Nation, I have one of the Turf Show Times guys reach out to me like, hey, this is number 3 on the whole SB Nation site. Of all the SB Nation things, this fan post is blowing up. And guys, that fan post didn't blow up, I don't know what would have happened, but that put me on the trajectory I'm at today. So pretty crazy. It got me to start Downtown Rams. Actually, before I started I did start Downtown Rams. Before I continued down that path, RamsWire reaches out to me, and they're brand new, and I just start writing for RamsWire. I wrote for them for about, a month or so, and then I went back to writing DTR, and I never looked back. So pretty crazy. It's funny how that works. Okay, so what did I do in 2016 for the draft? I got all these NFL draft profiles. Oh my God. That is so crazy. 2017 NFL draft. Regrading, Downtown Rams, interview. Yeah, wow. I'm having a hard time finding it. I know there's something on there, man. I know there's a big board or there's something, but I'm looking up on the site. I'm not seeing it. Older posts. Let's see. Final master list of every Los Angeles Rams 2020 prospect meeting. I'm looking, man. I can't. What's up, Respectable Goose? How we doing? Yeah, I'm not looking for my mock draft, though. I'd like to find... Oh, man. I would love to find the 2016 or 2017 stuff. The problem with this search is that it doesn't go by date. So I'm like, what am I doing? Like, maybe I need to... I don't even know, man. I don't know what's going on. But I'm vowing to find it because, well, I want to find it. Okay. Let's see. Final 2020 mock draft with projected 55-man roster. Why did I have a projected 55-man roster? I got to look at this, though. What did I have the Rams doing? Oh, my God. What is this? Second round, Josh Uche to the Rams. 57th overall, trade with Jacksonville. Oh, I traded down with Jacksonville. Okay. I got a third round pick, a fourth, a 2 fourths, and a sixth. Okay. Akeem Davis Gaither in the third, and then Antonio Gibson, and then Netani Muti, and then Kenny Robinson Jr., Hakeem Adeniji, McTelvin Ejim, Isaiah Coulter, Keith Ismail, Cole McDonald, Muhammad Berry. Interesting. I mean, it's actually not a bad draft. I mean, having Antonio Gibson and, Josh Uche make it pretty solid, I would say. Potential UDFA targets. That's funny. Looking at this. Thecurious Keys. That's a name. Okay. Let's see. Is this going to go in? As you guys can see, if you go on Downtown Rams, got to start updating this thing. Currently, I don't have any writers. Everyone has left, so I don't really have time to keep up with it, but yeah. Madden NFL 21 season simulation. What the hell happened here? Divisional round 31-17 loss to New Orleans Saints. Jared Goff, just under 4,000 passing. Oh my God, dude, this is crazy. So the Rams have 11 picks. I'd say you got to hit on at least 7 of them. I think that's fair. Yeah, I know. And there's still people in here, so clearly somebody finds it interesting. I remember that when the Broncos cut Todd Davis and I was clamoring for the Rams to go after him. That's funny. I posted some of my podcasts on here. What kind of backfield duo could Rams, Cam Akers, and Darrell Henderson look like? That's right. I compared them to Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams. Oh, do you guys remember? And this is before YouTube. Oh my God. Do you guys remember the all-time Rams Madden stream? So Blaine and I drafted these Rams. I wish I could find that. I'd post it. I wouldn't care. If I could find it, I'd post it. Man, I totally wish I could find that. Twitch got rid of our account, but we streamed it on Twitch, and Blaine, we drafted our own all-time Rams. So my team had Roman Gabriel and Norm Van Brocklins, and Blaine drafted Kurt Warner and Bob Waterfield. And it was Madden, but it was Rams versus Rams, and I found a way to make it so it was so it was Rams versus Rams. I was able to do it, and it was so cool. They were wearing different uniforms, 1970s uniform versus the Fearsome Foursome uniforms. That's one of the coolest things I think I've ever done, and it might not be a big deal for some people, but I spent so much time making that accurate. Man, crazy. I got all the numbers. That was a pain. But funny. So this is how I did it, because Madden, if you're using the same team, it's going to have the same depth chart. I had to make all the depth charts by hand. So I would go in, I had 2 controllers because that was the only way to do it. And I'd make the depth chart, have everything Blaine had as a starter, and same would be mine. And it was really cool. I forget what happened, who won and all that, but I announced it. I literally did play-by-play, and people liked it. Like, people tuned in. That was so fun. It was a full simulation of 15-minute quarters with Jake Ellenbogen commentating, willing to answer any and all Rams questions. My God. That's crazy. That just brought me back. I don't know if you guys were here for that, but I literally did that match. That was May 21st, 2020. Crazy. See, doing this has allowed me to explore things that I never thought I could explore. Like, really cool, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not going to be able to find it. Oh, man. You found it on DTR. You found the video? Is the video on the DTR YouTube? How? Am I stupid? It probably is. That would make sense. That's fascinating. If it is, that's going to be pretty freaking cool. I'm not going to lie. Nope. It's not. Damn, that's a bummer. Maybe it's... Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know. I don't think I downloaded it. I don't even know how I would find that video. I mean, I think it's just gone, Sadly. I don't think there's any way for me to find that video. That was through DTSN. Huh. I'm going to see if maybe it was on the DTSN YouTube. I'm checking right now. We've been streaming for almost 3 hours. It definitely feels that. I'm definitely getting tired. Nope, it's gone. That's a bummer. Oh, well, what can you do? That'd be cool, though. I'd definitely repost it. I might start reposting stuff on the channel because, quite honestly, I think there's stuff that I want to, like, rehash. I might even take some of the stuff off of Facebook because I have this stuff on, like, I have stuff on Facebook. They are releasing a new uniform. See, I could have sworn that I kept the video. I don't know. I'll find it someday. Maybe not. It is what it is. Anyway, it was a cool idea, and maybe we'll do something like that sometime. I don't know. always up for suggestions. We're going to be doing a mock draft soon. And yeah. Damn, I'm tired. It's 3:08, 3:06, 3:06, yeah. 3:06 a.m. So I would just do the yellow sole, the sole yellow top with white pants. That way you could have the white pants in the rotation, and then you could just mix and match. That's what I would do. Like honoring the original teams and everything. That's what I would do. I don't know. All right, cool. Well, tomorrow baseball is back. Like, we're gonna have all sorts of games tomorrow, so can't wait for that. We got the Final Four, so we're gonna find out tomorrow who the who's gonna be in the title game. I got UConn and San Diego State. I've had that since the start of the Sweet 16. So I had San Diego State in the Final Four. I actually had San Diego State in the championship as my main bracket. I had San Diego State playing Kansas. So I'm really high on San Diego State. There is a YouTube short I did that kind of blew up because San Diego State fans found it and called me Jake Stradamus. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, that's what I'm rooting for. I want to see San Diego State and UConn. And if it gets to that point, then I don't care who wins. I'd probably pull for San Diego State because UConn already has titles. And San Diego State doesn't. So, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. Defense wins championships, guys. San Diego State has a great defense. So we'll see. But, yeah, it's been fun. I'll probably go live at some point today since it's already Saturday. It is April, so welcome if you guys didn't know it was April. Yeah, that's all she wrote. That'll be the end of this show. Not forever, but if I go on any longer, it'll be 3 hours, and I'm absolutely dead tired. So you guys take care. I'll see you guys soon, and yeah. Later, folks. You ever get those ridiculous social media scams where people pretend to be somebody you're friends with and tell you can make a lot of money? I know I do. It's why I'm very excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is an easy-to-use app that essentially packages a bunch of services to stay safe online all in one. Aura protects you from scammers and hackers. They scan the web for all sorts of data leaks and alert you as soon as they find anything. Aura is like the offensive line for a quarterback, consistently offering you protection from suspicious and malicious activity. They have a VPN built in that keeps your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. They'll even alert you if someone's trying to open up a credit card or a loan in your name. Did I mention they protect all your devices from viruses, malware, spyware, and any other things so the bad guys can't break in? Aura can even manage what your kids do on their devices. You can set limits and restrict them from specific apps. They have a password manager as well, so you don't have to rely on an outdated Rolodex or that sticky note that's been on your desk forever. There are apps that do all of these things, but there isn't one that tackles everything the way Aura does, which is why I say Aura is a 5-man offensive line and you're the quarterback. So head on over to aura.com/JKB. You can find it in the description and start your free trial today.